Woo! You're talking about all man. Woo! Woo!
I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission or receiving this transmission. Apparently, someone's uploaded this Mike in the Night close to 40 episodes on some upload cloud service thingy, like radio, kind of like a podcast with no video. And thank you. And whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky, to your cabin in the woods, or just couch surfing, or maybe just on a road trip or relaxing on your lazy boy, people of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some coffee, tea, or sparkling water. I've been drinking a bit of lemon water here because you're tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Don't say I'm talking too much until you see what's happening behind. Just when you think it's done, and just when you can't go on. Tag along tonight on Mike in the Night. Let's talk this through. Hashtag Mike in the Night. And guys, intro track by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. Disclaimer, we do not offer investment advice or medical advice. We are opinion driven. Due to the poor quality of this video, we do not know anything and we can't even read. Due to this video's poor quality, this video should not be viewed by anyone. So there you go. There's your disclaimer. Thank you everybody for coming in and being part of the channel. And if some people don't mind, if you got a lot of, just go ahead and share this somewhere on your social media. The channel is there. The channel's there for everyone to come on and see some of the past episodes. We got our thing is going really fast lately. Our what you call Discord has been on fire lately. Discord's been blowing up. We got a lot of people on Discord posting a lot of stuff. We did adding you a section to the Discord, guys, called we have a Bitcoin room and let's chat solutions, because a lot of people complaining we don't talk enough solutions, right? And it's kind of hard when you're trying to create solutions. Then if we have too many, or if the solutions are too good or too good to fail solutions, they always find a way to trump it, or they find a way to shut it down. That's the problem. We can't give them always the playbook. We have their playbook. It's plain as day. Right? It's plain as day. It's like night is over, daylight's here, we could see it, but it's, I don't know, it's just getting better every day. Every day there's always some bizarro thing that gets thrown out there that you would usually see back in the day once a year. Of the 38 or 40 incidences that have happened in 2021, mind you, we're barely halfway through the year. Of the 23 major incidences that have happened, one of them would have been a big deal. Let's say in 1989, 1990, because none of this stuff was happening back in the day. Yeah. All right, guys, welcome to Mike in the Night, people of the night. All right, let's do a quick happy channel intro plug here, just to give you guys a little update on what's happening on the next couple of shows. Keep you guys up to date. We're going to get our first caller in a few minutes. We went over what was happening. We'll have him on and he'll explain it. All right, guys, here it is, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Lots of good shows lined up for you guys in the next couple of weeks or so. Don't forget to check out our legendary guests. We got all kinds of really good legendary guests on our show. We had Uneducated Economist, Peter Leeds, God Rules, Florian Heiza, all kinds of heroes of the YouTube. Okay, guys, don't forget to set your reminders for Wednesday's show, The Death of the Market. Don't forget to set your reminders for next week's Mike in the Night. If you can, set your reminders for next week's Mike in the Night. And if you guys need to message me show tips, which people have, go ahead and send me the show tips. I'm going to put it right here in the live chat. So go ahead and send me your show tips there. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. Check them out, artbydano.net or artbydano.com. New release section. available. Not your typical art. And you could also visit him there in Huntington Beach Pier. Here it is, artbydano.com. Don't forget to check him out. Also, guys, don't forget to support Lord Humongous with the Amerifornia tour. Lots of he's getting some some donations here. Please support. He's going to be going around collecting stories around America. An intro track by Ralphie.co.New Zealand, where you hear replays of Mike in the Night. I was playing it the other day again on my Bluetooth while I was driving and on my radio, and it was really good in the car and listening to replays of Mike in the Night. All right, people of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. We got already, the comments are flowing in. We got Annie Key, we got Francis Foley, we got Matthew Elu, we got Stephen Sewell, we got, who else? Lord Humongous, of course, saying, you will own nothing and you will be happy playbook. We got Annie Key, of course, MG in the house. So we got, a lot of people rolling into the comment section. I like to see that. Really good people participating. Participation is huge. All right, let's go into, we got some serious top stories here for you guys. Before we go into that, we're going to go into just a few polls of what is happening and where it's happening, and just a few polls that I had for the channel. So, I just shared a video from King Cash YouTube. So much happening, and it's only going to get more interesting. Guys, don't forget to check out King Cash YouTube. He's got some really good videos. I keep sharing it here on my thing. So, guys, I asked you guys earlier, should I keep making videos on YouTube? I have found several channels with 50K plus subscribers that are active for less than a year. Post one video every 2 weeks, basically talking about what we're talking about here since 2012. And I'm hoping to get to 14,000 subs by Christmas. It's kind of embarrassing. Maybe I should do other stuff with my time. 90% of you guys voted yes, make more videos. No, you're wasting your time, 10%. So, looks like I'll be continuing making more videos. I just hope the message can get out, right? It's not just my message, it's our message, right? We're here together, right? I'm just kind of refereeing most of the time. People call in, give us their points of views from across the Commonwealth. That's why we're the voice of the Commonwealth. All right, and we got our thing going here, our Discord. Okay, guys, so this is tonight's show. I want to talk about this new sweeping tax of 15 points. And we're going to get back to that a little bit later and get your call-ins and your opinions on this. 15 points. Group of 7 finance ministers gather in London, agreed Saturday to back global minimum tax of at least 15% on multinational companies of G7 group. Also agreed that the biggest companies should pay tax. The problem is the tax gets pulled back or passed on to the consumer. That's another issue, guys. So we're going to talk about that later. Germany. Lockdown had no effect on COVID pandemic, says German scientists. And this is their mainstream media. The mainstream media is actually posting this. New Zealand is a Five Eyes outlier on China. It may have to pick a side because right now they're actually, CNN, listen to this, of all news networks, is calling New Zealand New Zealand, from New Zealand as a new Xi Jinping land. And New Zealand's going to have to pick a side. Is it going to side with us or is it going to side with New Zealand? Xi land, whatever. Let's move on here. Bill Gates and Warner Buffett to build a new kind of nuclear reactor in Wyoming. Oh, God bless America. Guys, you're building, 50-year-old technology in 2021? Whatever happened to I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to,
You're talking about
all right.
all man.
And on the community section of the page, we put a 20-foot seawall. Miami faces hard choices of climate change again. In 2007, Florida was supposed to be underwater, according to Alejandro Gore, who's hiding out somewhere. I'm not sure where he's been. He hasn't been seen in 2 weeks. Class cleansing is killing London as poor people are removed from communities. And it's not poor people, it's more of the middle class disappearing. And guys, don't forget, you got the B1617 COVID Delta variant. Now, hold on a sec. I call it the Ball Jew 617 Delta Force Chuck Norris. Yeah, that's what I call it. So let's move on. Let's keep going here. All right, you could stop the cheering. It wasn't that funny. And all right, I want to go into our. Where's our? Did they take down our? Here they are. Okay. Oh wow, did they take down our polls? Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. I'm not joking. You guys could... Wow, they took down all... Oh my god, they're gone. Okay, so I got some here. I don't know if I went over these. During the last year in a half... So during the last year and a half of this BS COVID thing, I have gotten closer to 50% said God, 21% said family, 2% said friends, 15% said video games, 11% said social media. Have you lost faith in your current government? 94% of 335 votes says yes, they have. No, they're doing great, 6%. Do you think they will ban elections indefinitely or at least try by using COVID variants or some climate BS? 76% of you said yes, 24% said no. I am currently feeling very good, says 18%. Can't complain, 21%. 25% say of you guys say stressed. Depressed, 8%, and lied too many times, 28%. Who feels like they're being lied too many times? This is a good one here. What is being abused the most in 2021? That's a really good question. What is being abused the most? 60% of you guys voted science is being abused the most. Education, 19%, banking, 11%, 0% military, and public sector work, police, doctors, etc., 9%. And what else we got here? Anything else? Any other polls that they're... Wow, they're taking down polls? Why? All right, so that's in the community section of the page here. You guys are more than welcome to go ahead and vote. All right, so we're going to get our first caller in. That's going to explain... I don't even know what this is. So this is the ASO3 adjuvant, sequelinity-based adjuvant. So this is apparently what they're inserting into us. Or they're trying to insert into us, and there's the unit size. This is from a research facility information. So let's call in our man Jacob to just tell us what the hell we're looking at here. And this is important information that he wants to share with us. And hopefully he could turn his Skype is turned off. So his Skype is off. There it goes. Hopefully he picks up.
Mike, what's going on?
Jacob, what's up, brother?
Oh, I'm just taking it easy and watching your show. How's everybody doing?
Oh, well, I hope everyone's doing good. So I sent you some information I wanted you to research with some clippings, and I don't even know what the hell ADA SL3. What is this?
So what? You sent me a screenshot with the chemical compound of a drug you wanted me to look at for you. So I did some research and found out that this is an antigen, which is essentially an immune system stimulant.
Is this what's in the vax?
This would be something you would give to stimulate someone's immune system. This would not be a vaccine. This is something you give somebody recovering from like influenza or something of that nature.
Okay, because this is apparently in the second dose.
Well, this is what I was looking at. If you put what we previously discussed, your precursor first injection, and this being the second injection, what it would be is a long-term stimulant of someone's immune system. It would have nothing to do with any sort of coronavirus or protein-based respiratory illnesses of any kind. You would give somebody who is recovering from an illness. This is something that you would give them. Or like somebody who had HIV, for example, or leukemia, this type of thing.
Interesting.
This has nothing to do with
respiratory.
Anything to do with coronavirus.
Okay, because this was sent to me. This thing ASO3 was sent to me saying that you better. This is one of the elements that's inside one of the vaxes, or one of the different types of vaxes they're offering us.
What they call this one is called Novak Matrix, basically, is what it is. That's the over-the-counter term for it. And like I said, this is something you would give somebody to stimulate their immune system. It's called a protein autoimmune antigen, not a vaccine. Definitely not.
So okay, so they're telling us they're administering vaccines, but so what are they? So they're administering this. I guess
I'm not sure why you would give this to a healthy person. It seemed kind of pointless. This would be like a $4,000 injection, essentially, with mixed with a precursor that you got 45 days earlier or less. That have little or nothing to do with the coronavirus or anything like that.
so it wouldn't even go through the blood and make it back to you in a way where it doesn't reach that lung. Yeah, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. That wouldn't work. So we got the composition and immune response. So it's a suffragant tween 80, and then
yes,
it's okay. So there it is. They call it a adjuvated vaccine, and then it goes in, and then I don't know what it's doing, but it attacks your T cells apparently and multiplies them.
It stimulates immune response. So if somebody was taking say HIV medication,
right?
They would be constantly trying to stimulate and support your immune system, is what it is. This you would give somebody this with a precursor if they were very ill. You wouldn't give it to a healthy person. It would have no effect. It might taper off your immune response because it would be similar to steroids, where you get an artificial high, essentially. So
okay.
it might stunt your further development down the road.
Okay, let me ask you something. They're already calling out a 5th and a 6th variant. We got the Delta Force Chuck Norris ball juice variant now.
Right.
So now, like, wouldn't this thing now considered even the first vaccine we talked about? And then now this one, or not even a vaccine, this injection these injections they're offering us or forcing us to take. Now, my question to you is, does this cover all? This doesn't do anything. So it doesn't even cover. Doesn't this become out of date, so to say?
This would help you if you had a compromised immune system already.
But would it cover all of the different variants that are being pulled out?
No, absolutely not. Your body has a security system, and variants look different from each other. So it would have a different response for different viruses that they encounter, essentially, like a doorman at a bar, right? Mm. So if he's immune to A, but he comes in with B, or this one has a hat and this one doesn't, he wouldn't know the difference. Mm. So your immune system is quite specific because it wants to be stimulated naturally. And what this is, these injections I'm seeing, this is what you would give somebody who had a compromised immune system to help them get over a virulent infection. That could include COVID, but this one is focused towards influenza, which is your regular flu that you get. Because they don't have a cure for the flu, right? There is no such thing.
Well, the flu just mutates, retreats in the northern hemisphere, moves down to the southern hemispheres.
That's exactly right.
Mutates. It's actually sprinkle healthy. A little bit of pixie dust, then it comes back up to the northern hemisphere.
That's right. It's actually healthy that it keeps our immune system on its toes, and things like modern medicine and the understanding of how pathogens and viruses work contributes to our longer life expectancy and general health and all that good stuff.
Okay, now that as of a week ago now, that's a week or 2 weeks, Facebook now has announced that we are allowed to say that the virus was a man-made virus. We knew about this in March of 2020 when we discussed the fingerprints on the virus. It obviously, I think you even called in and told us that the fingerprints on the virus alone there's no way it was obviously made in a laboratory.
Yes, the red flag that this is a manufactured virus is its behavior, as it behaves a very specific way. It behave naturally. It seeks a single environment. It seeks transmission under the circumstances that are that human to human contact, essentially. And even influenza is more preference to birds and four-legged creatures than us. right? It's not really a human disease, right? This is a manufactured human disease, which is very, very rare.
Okay.
You get like smallpox and things of that nature. They were specifically humanized illnesses.
Now, does this change the fact, like, okay, when they're constructing, okay, I'm thinking this is, and I'm really held on this, okay? I'm really held on this one, okay? When they're constructing, let's say, some sort of a vaccine or a cure or some sort of a ball juice remedy of some sorts, okay?
Right.
What I'm thinking here is that, okay, we need all the information from this for us to be able to construct some sort of a vaccine or some sort of a semi-cure or a patch, right? Okay.
Right.
If I was told from day one, hey, this is now man-made, it's no longer from a wet market in Wuhan,
right,
then doesn't that change the schematic of how I approach? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like a gunshot victim will be approached differently from a doctor from a of a victim being stabbed, right? It'd be a different procedure, right? Where they were given the misinformation from the start, and the whole world started to work on this, trying to see if they could figure something out. Doesn't that change? Because the approach was wrong from day one, because they were told wrong. But you mentioned they're the same beaker next to each other in the same laboratory. But I'm really, this is really holding on me right now.
Right. So if you're a virologist and you're working in one of these fancy labs and you're developing for scientific purposes a virus, say rhymes with coronavirus, and the next scientist over, the next virologist to you would be making the essentially the wanted poster for your immune system. So they would never develop something without a cure to it, because that's just that's just not how it's done, right? So what they would want to do is get that wanted poster out into the bodies of people to make us immune to it, right? So what we're seeing now is we're getting stimulants, precursors and stimulants. So I believe that they're not really concerned about the nature, the deadly nature of this virus.
Yes, of course.
It makes sense that they wanted. It makes sense to me now that they wanted the elderly folks vaccinated first, because that's what you would give elderly people to fight off a virus.
Okay. But let me ask you something now. So somebody is saying the fact that there happens to be a virology laboratory in Wuhan, I mean, come on. Now, a lot of people don't understand that I think it was in 2015 or 2016, Obama, Fauci, and a couple of other guys actually had to move their COVID experiment thingy over to China because it was illegal, and to research it in the United States, so they moved it over there instead. It's all documented. It's all there. It's not a lie, right? So
what it is go ahead.
But it's illegal to obviously do it, to research it in the United States. Then why wouldn't they just stop researching it instead of moving it over to Wuhan?
Well, genetic manipulation is illegal. The genetic manipulation of viruses.
Is that why they moved the study from the United States to Wuhan?
Well, these the pharmacy companies that would be subcontracted, because they're all like lobbyists and they're all in bed together essentially, right? It would be the same company that worked in Sacramento, that worked in Manitoba, that worked in Wuhan. It would be the same company, right? And they would have more privacy in China, definitely, because they don't answer the same laws that we do there. So if they were going to genetically manipulate a series of viruses, say 18 or 19 of them, then they would have more privacy to do it in China, so it kind of makes sense to me.
Mr. Madden is asking you if you could explain the blood clot response to the injection.
Yes. So what's happening when they give you the precursor is the one we previously discussed. Mm-hmm. And this has heavy metals in it, like lithium. And chloroform has very sticky proteins that would stick to the other blood vessels.
Right.
So what's happening is your heavy metals will sink. And, of course, your blood, being essentially a static protein, would cling to it. And then there's your blood clot right there.
Wow. So it doesn't take much.
No, it wouldn't take much, especially if you had some sort of, chemical imbalance in your body. You had protein issues. You were possibly anemic. There's like dozens of conditions that would create blood clots, and this would just accelerate it. Because what's happening is these heavy metals are bottoming out inside your veins and arteries, and your blood vessels would come in contact with it and stick with it. You have blood clots after that.
Okay, so I've heard of people like on social media. I'm seeing it that they're posting it, and they're cutting off. They're getting limbs cut off due to blood clots and all kinds of weird, bizarro stuff that wasn't happening in the last 2,000 years of recorded history.
That's right, because they've rushed this, like seriously rushed this into the populace without, I would say, many years of trials. Right. Remember, I told you the polio vaccine took 30 years for them to perfect,
and it's still not perfect.
That's right, and it took 30 years for us to get it under control here, and that's just one disease of many. Right. The influenza vaccine came out in 1919. We still have to get it every year because it's not perfected, and it never will be. Vaccines are not, they're wanted posters. They're not what people think they are. It's to alert your immune system that the virus is in your body. It's not some kind of cure like in the movies. Okay. If that makes sense to you.
It makes perfect sense. Okay, let's jump on this real quick. 3 points the media is still getting wrong about the Wuhan lab theory and the documents to prove it. So here it is. Number one, U.S. taxpayer money did not go to the controversial gain and function of the research. So it obviously it didn't. So the 2015 published study specifically discloses that the research to gain function of research that took bat coronavirus was harmless to people, that it made infectious to humans. The study further states that the National Institutes of Health, NIH, approved the continuation of the research even amid a general ban such studies. So there it is. So it says it's a SARS-like cluster of circulating bad coronavirus shows potential for human emergency, and this was on the 9th of November 2015. So this is not old, this is not new news.
No, it is not. You're going back to SARS. That's like 2003, right? That was like the practice run for 2020, right? Now we're in 2021. We're still locked down. What I find really, really interesting is up here in Canada, Manitoba is the red hot zone right now, and our only virologist laboratory that's functioning right now is out there also. So I find that very, very strange.
Okay, and then number two, the gain of function research with China did not only receive U.S. support and money through the nonprofit EcoHealth Alliance, but also directly. Wow.
Oh, well, what's happening is, of course, the money didn't go to the research because it was already done. If this was a manufactured virus, which it very clearly is, the antigen and the cure would have been made in the stall next to it at the same time, because that's how they do it, right? That's a standard procedure. You wouldn't make a rifle without a safety on it. You know what I mean? Or a car.
Or you wouldn't design proper bullets without making. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So they're building the car, they wouldn't make it without brakes. It just isn't done, right?
Okay, let's move on. And then the third thing they're saying,
like hostages, what they do is they go to these health apparatus and like hostages. They're like, we're going to need money for research. We're going to need, what do the mafia call that? Extortion.
Yeah. Number three, the Chinese Wuhan lab direct U.S. support in addition to the indirect grants from the EcoHealth Alliance. State Department cables from January 2018, 2018 detail assistance from the University of Texas Medical Branch, including university researchers helping train technicians who work in the Wuhan Institute of Virology lab. The Texas lab is supported by Dr. Fauci's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease under NIH. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing now, if you notice that Mr. Fauci gentleman has been sacrificed, right?
They threw him under the bus.
Yeah, they threw him out there so we could do it and move out. Who knows who is really, really responsible for it, right? But you have to. A red flag is when someone is in charge is in like their late 70s. You know what I mean? Like he can afford to be sacrificed, essentially. Right? You don't see any 40-year-old doctors out there putting their reputation on the line, right? And he's, his book just came out and on and on and on, right? And all of a sudden he's guilty of something, right?
He's trying to say that book sold more copies than the Bible or something.
I'm sure it did. I have no doubt of that.
Yeah, but
Right.
but yeah,
So
that's what I wanted to get you on here. I wanted to go over these points here and what's happening, and we'll get you on with this SO3 thingy, and we've been
Right.
slowly dissecting this on every week on the show. So if I find anything else, I'm going to keep sending it to you, and then you could go ahead and research it and figure out what we need to know about it and what they're trying to give this to give. Now, before I let you go, how come we're not to arms over the land and ocean? We go to arms, we fight on. Why aren't we going to war knowing that a country released a virus that potentially could wipe out humanity purposely and using it to leverage economic warfare and leverage and deleverage the saber rattling by, I'm not even going to get into the mathematics of it. Why aren't we on a ship on our way ready to take, you know what I mean, to take revenge?
Right. So the Americans, right? This all comes back to America and China. The Americans they're getting out of Iraq, they're getting out of Syria, all that nonsense. They've been at war almost constantly since my whole life, right? They don't want to fight China, and China knows this. They don't want to fight. They'll probably have to at some point. But the Chinese government knows America doesn't want to fight. So you're going to see a very aggressive, virulent China for the next until they get another hawk in charge of the United States.
Well, here's the thing. I want to add something to that real quick. It's like going to war is almost like it is at times a must. And then when I'm saying like a must, when the banks go ahead and start raising interest rates because they're out of choices and they've ran out of all economic repo markets, printing money, all the crap they could do. They go ahead and they pull the trigger on raising interest rates. I see it the same as war. They're going to have to pull the trigger on war.
They're connected. They're one and the same, right?
They have no way. They have no choice. But now, guys, we need to go to war, and that's just it.
Yeah, and they know the Americans don't want to fight. The Americans are trying to. This is like the 1930s all over again. The Americans got dragged into World War II. They had to.
And
they
World
had
War
to
I
fight over the bomb, right? World War I was a little more financial based. It was more based on money at the time, right?
Yeah, World War I. President Woodrow Wilson's platform was no war with Europe. We're not jumping into Europe's problems.
Well, that was just shortly after the establishment of their whatchamacallit, their reserve, their federal
and all that, income
that's
tax,
right.
federal income, all that Mickey Mouse.
Right, it had already been established, and then by it took them extra time. By 1917, they were involved in the war, right? So they're going to have to fight China, I imagine, at some point, but they don't want to. And China's very cocky because they're getting away with it. Of course, they're responsible for all this, but you're going to have to essentially man up to get them under control, right? Because they have a demographic time bomb in China where they've run out of 30-year-olds.
Right.
Now they're in big trouble because they're going to be
running out of 30-year-old women.
That's right, and 60% of them will be retired long before 60% of them are rich. So China's got same with Russia has a major problem too. They don't have enough kids to replace, so they're becoming far more aggressive because they need to do it now rather than later, regardless of the expense. So we're right back in 1913, right back in 1932. I'm seeing we're parallel. The song remains the same, right? They just have different hats on. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm seeing.
All right.
And they could use this as a precursor to hate China for like 30 years after this, right?
Right. They could find a reason why, just like they hated the Germans up to today.
Yeah, exactly. They gave us coronavirus, and it'll never end.
Especially when they dictate and they could erase history now. Now, back in the day, we would write things down, preserve it, and hide it in places so that future generations will know what happened. So if they try to corrupt the history, people will find that. You get what I'm saying. Now it's all digital, and everything could be doctored and adjusted and removed and all kinds.
Why do you think the church spoke Latin? Everybody else spoke whatever because they had their own secret language. They had to preserve their power.
The integrity, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Jacob, thank you so much for coming on. And if I got anything, I'll send it to you, and you can come on and explain to us what is going on in that sector of of what's been happening around the world. Thank you, Jacob. God bless you.
Cheers, everyone. I'll be in the comments.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That is Jacob, our man. I sent him a thing, and then he gets back to me with some bizarro. Yeah, so we went over that, and I don't know why that would be given to a healthy person. So we went over the 3 points media still getting wrong about the Wuhan lab. Okay, guys, here it is. The shot heard around the world. El Salvador aims to become the first nation to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. May set global precedent. Here it is. El Salvador is gonna now accept Bitcoin. There it is. El Salvador. And I'm going to see El Salvador is taking steps to become the first sovereign nation to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, alongside the US dollar, potentially setting this stage for other nations to reduce central bank influence over their economies. Now, hold on a sec, folks. Who else is looking at using Bitcoin? We're talking about Bitcoin. We're not talking about El Salvador coin. We're talking about the Bitcoin. Okay? Who else? I heard Cuba. Okay? Cuba is on board. Puerto Rico is still obviously a territory of the United States. They want to start implementing Bitcoin. Who else? St. Lucia, St. Kitts, St. Bart's, Barbados, a lot of islands in the Caribbean, the Grand Caymans, are looking at using Bitcoin also. So this is a major, major thing because they're putting their trust into digital cryptocurrency. Okay. I think it's more trustworthy than just printing off a bunch of paper and there's no intrinsic value, right? But obviously for me, the real wealth is intrinsic physical gold and silver. That's where it's at, right? I stacked silver since 2007. I was stacking silver. I believed that the world was going to end in 2012. So I was preparing if I had to get out or bug out or do something. And I was preparing for that, right? Okay. So Bitcoin is falling, says Mike Gears Shift. So, what else we got? Corey Harrison saying 215 kids dead. Damn, Catholics and governments. And they're talking about that. We talked about it on last week's show. Last Wednesday's show. What else is going on here? It looks like big gangs are using Bitcoin too. MS-13, other big gangs. We got Blunt News in the house too. Let's get Blunt News. Let's see if we can get Blunt. Can you come on and talk about Bitcoin for a few minutes and find out what is happening here in San Salvador? It would be nice to get him on if he could come on. Oh, Anthony's calling. Anthony, how are you, my brother?
Oh, great. How are you, Mike?
It's so good to hear from you. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You doing okay?
Yeah, doing great. Doing some traveling. Work's pretty busy. Other than that, not much.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear you. This is Anthony from downtown Detroit. Okay, Anthony, tell us, markets, what's going on? I just put up. I just read an article that's up your alley. El Salvador is now using Bitcoin as legal tender.
Well, I mean, this makes me look to history books, and I'll tell you about Albania. They had a revolution in like 1997 because all the people started to just get into a big Ponzi scheme. And it was like, rah, invest in Albania. And here we're going to take over the world by being the wealthiest country as long as we all invest the same way.
Right.
And then when it all went bust, people found themselves with nothing, and they turned on the leadership, and then chaos ensued. So it's just interesting that all these questionable countries with weak institutions are deciding that Bitcoin is the way after it goes from whatever $1 to 60,000. Why didn't they decide this at $1?
Yeah. So they signed a bill enabling El Salvador to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender. Will be submitted to the country's legislative assembly next week. President Nayib Bukele said in a video message that was shown on Saturday at the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami. So there it is. So this is
Yeah.
huge. This is actually huge. Yes, a weakening economy. So do you see other South American? I could honestly see Honduras jumping on this. Cuba.
And what's the goal of the Cubans to get involved?
Well, I don't know. I heard through the grapevine that Cuba, like places like Barbados, St. Kitts, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and if they're tourists are going there. Let's say tourists are going to St. Lucia or Barbados for a week or two. They could just use their Bitcoin.
Right. And
That angle, I guess.
or it's just hurry up and invest in this because we are a region that's not prepared for the next dollar bull run. Their institutions and banks are not prepared for another dollar shortage. So this might be a way of duping people, pretending it's not the year 2002 again.
Okay. Yeah.
But Bukele, I mean, he's a unique character there in El Salvador.
He's very young. What is he, 30 years old?
Oh, 39. Yeah.
Okay, he looks very young, though. Yeah, he looks very young. I see him here, and I've seen him speak once or twice, and okay. Now, let me ask you, what is happening right now with Brazil? I guess Bolsonaro's in a bit of trouble, and he's always been in trouble, but what's happening in Brazil? How are they going to turn, I guess, the corner on this whole COVID thing, or do you see them turning the corner anytime soon, or they need this thing to persist?
Oh, wow. It's such a complicated situation down there. An explosion in cases, definitely a lot of deaths. I don't know. They're kind of just distracting people and calling Bolsonaro the scapegoat. When Argentina took an opposite direction with, strict lockdowns, the shopping malls are still closed, but the end result is the same. I mean,
It is.
they want to look at Argentina as an example of how to implement a leftist lockdown, and Argentina has an explosion of cases worse than Brazil's. Mortality rate is off the charts, and both these countries blow India out of the water with regards to deaths and cases, if you look at a percentage of population.
Anthony, do you find it ironic how when we were talking in 2019, and we even dubbed 2019 as the year of the protest, where you had you were on the phone with us live when Chile was in the midst of we're streaming live protests in Chile with tens of thousands of people streaming protests from Argentina, Brazil, parts of Mexico. You had the Gilets jaunes in France. You had the Hong Kong riots. You had Lebanon. You had all these places rioting, and
Yes.
all of a sudden, COVID shows up.
Convenient, isn't it?
It's so convenient.
But now, the Colombia is an example of a country where COVID has now not been effective in establishing their order. There's been quite a bit of disorder.
Well, Colombia, you're talking about Colombia, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was how much was that tax? 20% or 15 or 20% tax they implemented?
You know, it's 20%. If it's
20.
5%, if it's 2%, the fact is people ain't got it anymore. When you order people to stay in their homes, to not function, to not be around other people, it might create a scarcity of money.
Money
Full
velocity.
lockdowns. What's that?
Money velocity.
Right. I mean, from top down, and I noticed the coffee is expensive in the first world now because Colombia has coffee offline now because of road blockages.
And bananas, too. Bananas are one of their major exports, too. And flowers.
Yeah, so what's driving the Colombian economy these days? Just cocaine?
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it did a lot during the early 80s, mid 70s to early 80s. It did. It built a lot of the infrastructure in that country, believe it or not.
Right.
A lot of that low income housing, a lot of that low or lower income housing and farms and some of the plantations, a lot of that was actually funded by Emilio Gaviria Escobar, right?
Right, and Colombia is just drastically a globalist, experimental laboratory.
Yes, you could say that. Yeah.
And we had a few years ago the Castros and everyone dressed in white, and they all signed this peace nonsense between this and that drug army versus the state, and everyone's happy. And now it's kind of undoing because I think there's a lot of drug-based businesses promoting this instability in Colombia.
Yes, that's correct. That's actually there's that opposition party there that's been having rats run around do their work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Destabilizing the other. Yeah.
the Castros are involved with that, and maybe Bitcoin is their way to launder drug money.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Chinese have been using Bitcoin to deleverage a ton of cash out of Hong Kong. They electronic transactions via Bitcoin into Canada is roughly $22 billion in 2020.
Right, and that makes Bitcoin effective in transfers, but as far as a store of value, I'm not sure that it's holding up. I mean, we've seen the correction in lumber coincides with the correction in Bitcoin,
Right.
the recent one.
Right. And
so it's trading on like dollar liquidity.
Right. Now, my concern is the food's going to get hit soon, and I think logistics from point A to point B is going to find a really tough time. I think it's all purposely done. It's all orchestrated and it's all set in place. So Anthony, what do you think is the end game here? Like what are we looking at like what's the point here?
Well, the point is to generate some sort of massive crash, and they'll blame it on capitalism and blame it on greed. Because greed is driving Bitcoin. Greed is driving Bolsonaro for telling his people to go to work instead of locking down. And I guess we'll just have to look back at our greedy capitalist system and embrace the left at some point, whatever agenda they have installed for us. And I think Bitcoin is the big experiment.
Do you see us transferring over to digital currencies like reserve currency, digital currency, or like what do you see happening? Do you see countries adopting it so they could track everything we do and where we spend our money?
Oh yes, I mean it's happening. Are you noticing on eBay they're really needing more disclosures now?
Yes, because I sell on eBay. They ask for my corporate like all this information. They even asked me what my blood type was.
I believe it.
So
yeah, so that's it, digital, and I think that they wheel out Bitcoin, so we have that fail, and then we'll embrace a government form of Bitcoin later, something that's got the blessings of the Federal Reserve. Because I mean, so far, Janet Yellen expressed concern, and I think that was when it was about 60,000. Now
okay.
Now we're fluttering in the 30s, and the dictators of the Caribbean are saying they're on board. It's just questionable.
Yep. Well,
and
I got the thing here that I wanted to bring up actually, because now that you're on, we could discuss this because this is actually kind of important. I'm just trying to find the article here that I really want you to, now that I got you on the phone and you just mentioned her name. So here's the article, and this is what we're talking about tonight. G7 backs Biden's sweeping overhaul of global tax system. A group of 7 finance ministers gathered in London agreed Saturday to back a global minimum tax of 15% on multinational companies. The G7 group also agreed that the biggest companies should pay tax where they generate sales and not just where they have physical presence. So there's a lot of countries here that are jumping onto this and agreeing and happy with glee and firecrackers and champagne. It looks like we solved the problem. So Anthony, this is major because they're just going to push this onto us.
Oh, right. And carbon taxes, name it.
So this global tax, what do you think? How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's just creeping authoritarianism on a global level. And we'll have no choice but to just submit to it. Because, I mean, as a society, we're I don't know, people are jaded. They don't care about this type of stuff. There's more pressing issues, they think.
Like Britney Spears' bra color?
Well, right. Or this whole month dedicated to self-reflection on one's awesomeness.
I don't even know what that means, man.
Well, the definition of the 7 deadly sins. What is the worst of all the 7 deadly sins?
But thou shalt not kill?
7 deadly sins, pride.
I don't know what that means.
Well, the worst of the 7 deadly sins is pride.
Okay.
Because it leads to everything negative.
Okay.
It leads to everything negative. Jealousy towards you, greediness, destructive behavior. So basically what I'm saying is this whole month is just a big celebration of one's own pride and self.
Okay.
Every June we're reminded of it.
All right. I don't even know what that means. I believe you, and I don't know why. Okay, yeah, but
Well, in Christian theology, the 7 deadly sins are pride, envy, gluttony, greed, lust, sloth, and wrath. Well, should we have a month dedicated to each of those, or just June is Pride Month?
I guess I don't know. I understand what you're telling me. It just I think people protesting and getting on the streets should maybe be protesting against this overhaul of global tax system. I think is more important.
Right.
You know, people are not looking at that
priorities.
now. People are not looking. They're fighting over which bathrooms they need to use. And After School Satan is reopened now. After School Satan Club and a lot of schools in America are reopening now. And no one's looking at this whole sweeping globalization of unification of bad people running us, you know?
Right. Bad people in every place of high power. And then what about back to the supply chain issues?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are we seeing a cover up? Like we're being distracted from the severity of the situation?
Well, yeah. I think the problem within itself is communication. I think there's a major issue, and they're not communicating or relaying to us exactly what it is we need to be told, so we don't have an issue with distribution. That's the problem.
Right. And
that's our problem right now, right? And the problem is the meat companies. Let's look at the meat companies. Shortage in meat. Attack on meat. Cyber attack. This, that. Well, you go back to the turn of the 20th century in 1911, 1910, you had hundreds of thousands of slaughter and meat packing plants across America. Now they've corporized it, umbrellaed it into 5-6 companies now.
Right.
But we wouldn't have this problem because they just go up to Joe's and get their meat. Oh, Joe's is shut down. Okay, go see Lucy. She's got some fresh. We don't got that anymore. It's been again like a lot of these companies, like some companies just do McDonald's contracts.
That's true. And then a week before the issue with the meat packing plant, it was interesting. I sent you the article on Argentina, how they were banning the beef exports.
That's right.
And that was this typical like communist style plan to make meat available to Argentines by not allowing the export. But the export of meat, allows people to take home wages.
That's correct.
That cut the meat and butcher it, and it allows businesses to make the payments on the debts and whatever they did for refrigeration and trucks and things to get the infrastructure to export the steaks and whatever it is. But what they decided was, you're just going to sell locally. So what that is going to do is allow a bigger grab of the big businesses you talk about,
right,
to then buy the bankrupt supply chain of meat in Argentina even worse than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
And to create a soybean monoculture country.
Because those countries are finished. If they have a logistics issue with exporting or ports closed, or there's a point A to point B factor, watch out with those countries. Watch out.
And we're seeing this unravel in Asia where, only this Indian state is locked down, but maybe that's the Indian state with the port that takes the things from the other state that's not locked down to get there. Like, that's the supply chain issues we're having on a global scale. That's
major.
But we're somehow celebrating the best economy ever in the United States. Housing prices keep going up.
Is that
it was set? It was only set a couple years ago. Okay.
Right. I understand that. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying wow. 2019 is the year of the protest, and then 2020 we get hit, or they tell us that there's something in the air to stay indoors. We stay indoors, and then now there's the supply lines and everything's falling apart. and you got a lot of those millennials and a lot of those younger generations that are getting depressed because they're not getting the instant gratification of a like on their picture they posted.
Right.
So, yeah, it's beyond anything. It's beyond. Okay, look. I'm gonna let you go, but before I let you go, can I ask you one question?
All right.
Are you gonna eat the plantaroni, that's plant-based pepperoni on your pizza, or are you gonna pass?
I'm definitely gonna pass because of the maybe pesticides in the soy and all that. And
Okay, fair enough. All right, Anthony, thanks for the update. I appreciate you calling in and giving us an update. Let's do 20 minutes on South America. Let's focus on South America next week, and we could next Mike in the Night. Let's do a breakdown of where Colombia is headed, because Colombia is not looking good right now. I got a friend who's trapped there. Then we got a couple of other problems that are brewing right now in Brazil, and then we got a major issue that's somewhat happening in the back doors of the governments in Argentina. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit of South America next week, okay?
sounds great.
All right, God bless you, buddy.
All right, ciao.
Ciao. All right, that's our man Anthony from downtown Detroit. Downtown Detroit. So we got, let's see if he turns on his Skype.
Ricky Spanish.
Come on, turn on your Skype. I think Ricky Spanish got out of jail.
Ricky Spanish.
I think Ricky Spanish got out of jail because he told me to call him. All right. So that was at 7:30. Yeah, it was like 10 minutes ago he called me. All right. Other thing. U.S. uses, look at this, guys. U.S. uses dollar to wage economic political war, says Putin. So it goes on to say here, the transfer, which affects about 119 billion of liquid assets. Oh, it's Ricky Spanish. Hey, Ricky Spanish. Hello? Hello?
What's up, eh?
Hey, Ricky Spanish. How you doing?
Oh, I had a busy week.
Ricky Spanish.
Are you doing okay? Because we didn't hear from you for a while. We thought you got arrested for running your mouth again.
Yeah, well, on Wednesday, I was tired. I was trading like 4 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You know, had that whole thing. We can go into that, I guess. You know,
I want to ask you. I want to stay on point tonight. I want to ask you this question.
Mhm.
G7 backs Biden sweeping overhaul of global tax system. Group of 7 finance ministers gathering in London agreed Saturday to back a global minimum tax of 15% on multinational companies. How is this going to affect everybody? How are they going to push on this debt to us? Do we start seeing things go up 15%? What is going on? Oh my God, we lost Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish.
Man, we keep losing Ricky Spanish. We'll try one more time. Yeah. Oh, well, Ricky Spanish. Is something wrong with his internet? You probably call me back. Okay, we got Dr. Mysterio here, who wants to call in with some... Hello, Dr. Mysterio? Hello?
Yeah, hi, just a sec. I just got to bring you down here.
All right. It looks like he's in a limousine.
Just a sec. I got it. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I could hear you perfectly, but I could hear your the feedback on the other speaker there. It's lowered now? Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, it should be done.
Good. It looks like you're in the back of a limo, dude.
No, actually, I'm just at home, actually.
Oh, okay. I see you moving around the leather couches there. Okay, listen. So what is going on? So here it is. I'm going to ask you now. So here it goes. G7 backs Biden sweeping overhaul global tax system. The group of 7 finance ministers gathering in London agreed Saturday to back a global minimum tax of 15% on multinational companies. The G7 group also agreed that the biggest companies should pay tax where they generate sales and not just where they have physical presence. So tell us what's going on with that, Dr. Mysterio.
Well, first of all, I'm going to give you a different read on this because it remains consistent with what I know about the reset, but on the good side, right? Because the National Economic Security and Reformation Act or Recovery Act, there's a lot of different meanings or words that they somehow interchange into that act name, right? Which is, the basis of or the subject matter of Harvey Francis Bernard's Draining the Swamp, which was the economic text presented to the World Economic Forum. I believe it was in 1993. It could have been 96. But anyways, it was presented to the World Economic Forum. And that was the textbook from which President Trump in the United States drew his sort of plan for economic reformation. Now, the economic reformation of Nazara in the States, and then substitute the N for a G for global.
Yep. Hello? I think we lost him. I hope he's okay.
15. Hello? Are you there?
We're losing you, bud.
Okay, I'm trying again. Is this any better?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So everybody in the world is supposed to be taxed 15 to 17%.
Hello? Well, we keep losing him. Sounds like we are losing
still be
Dr. Mysterio here. For some reason, I'm not sure why, but we are having troubles connecting with We're getting troubles connecting with anybody, but my internet's at full blown. It's 300 megabytes up, 300 down. All right, here he goes. Yo, you there?
Yeah.
We keep losing you.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm here. We keep losing you there.
Okay, have you got me back now?
Okay, so go ahead and tell us. We can barely hear you. Speak up a little bit, or maybe you're not on speaker there. I'm not. So tell us what's going on with everybody in the world needs to be taxed 15 to 17%?
15 to 17% on non-vital goods, okay? So groceries and pharmacy, for example, would be exempt. Just like the GST basically is run in Canada right now. But it'll be 15% worldwide, and there won't be any more income tax, because income tax is going to be abolished under the Jazara Protocol. Did you get that?
Okay. And okay, so them implementing a world, but the provincial, municipal, and all those taxes won't go away.
Well, I don't think that there's going to be provincial tax anymore because, I mean, government is only going to be 1/10 the size that it's supposed to be right now. Okay, I mean, that's like common knowledge to anybody who's been studying the good reset as opposed to the great reset. Government's going to be 10% of its size, so the only thing that you need to pay for that is the 15% to 17% tax on non-vital goods. Now, as far as property taxes go, I imagine that property taxes are still going to be present because people are going to have to pay for some sort of services to get their sidewalks cleaned, right? You know, if the weather's going to be the same, but there's no saying what this is going to look like.
Okay, so if you don't mind, okay, let's talk. Let's tell the people what's been happening about that guy in that vehicle. That's been following me, and has been apparently. So what happened was Dr. Mysterio calls me and tells me that this guy in the vehicle is following me, going to my house, sitting outside, and outside in his vehicle and this, and I'm like, you know what? He described the vehicle. I described the vehicle. I know the exact vehicle because that same vehicle has been following me around. And Dr. Mysterio is what, an hour or 2 hour drive from me?
Yeah, that's about right, Mike. I live in the Okanagan Valley, and I do a nightly patrol just around my neighborhood now, right now that I'm back here and I'm not flying around anymore, because I like to drive. So, I mean, I just go and I'm an extra set of eyes for God, right? You know, in my own community. And so, you know, I'll go around and say a quiet prayer for whoever I need to say a quiet prayer for. But last night when I was coming back from home from patrol, I come into my home neighborhood and I'm getting ready to put my car away, and I see this vehicle that's a Suzuki, dark looking Suzuki track or GMC tracker kind of Suzuki equivalent.
Hello? Hello? Looks like we lost him again. Dr. Mysterio, you there?
Outside, and I see him parked out in front of my place.
Sorry, we lost you there. Yeah, we lost you again. So what happened? He was parked outside.
He was parked outside, and he made no effort to hide himself. All right, and for me to come out and confront him, and I just said, you know, you got a problem? Like, what's up? And the guy just goes, wrong house, and then says, you know, and says, wrong house, right? I'm out of here or whatever. And I said, so, but this, you know, it didn't engender any fear from me, because basically what I'm seeing from the guy is basically they're checking me out for first contact.
Right.
Because I've got one of the most open minds on the face of this planet.
Right.
Okay. Possibly next to Raven. But I've really concentrated on the esoteric and the spiritual developmental side of what we are going through.
Now, guys, I'm going to confirm with you guys that's the same vehicle, the same color, the same make, the same guy followed me to work twice and followed me when I took Hello? Yeah,
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, we keep losing you. You go off for about 30 seconds and then you come back on. So, go ahead and talk until we lose you again, and then we'll try and get you on. Yeah.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
So here's the revelation. All right. They give us different terms for technology, such as Jazara for economics, or medbeds for medical healing, zero-point energy for our future patents on our houses. But to me, that they may only be stepping stones. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I took your readers on a bit of an interpretation of the Bible, looking forward in time when they had hacked it right through chronovisor technology to see into the future, trying to describe what they were seeing, but they didn't have words for it. Well, it's the same thing to us now. So they give us medbeds, they give us Jazara as concepts which we can attach to, when the actual reality of our ascension is going to be so much more. All right? So intellectually, these are stepping stones that we can contextualize what our future might look like, but being that we may be able to even manifest our own reality. I mean, the future is absolutely limitless and is only limited by the power of the human imagination, of which I have lots.
Right. So you think the 15% world tax basically will replace, or? But I don't see it replacing the municipal. I mean, there's so many levels, and are you still there?
I'm still here, and I'm listening.
Okay, the corporations are just going to move this 15 points on us, and that's a major issue.
I mean, they'll probably have to pay 15% to government as a fair amount, right? But the population will still pay 15% of their income, right? Because it won't be after tax anymore. There won't be any tax on income. Okay? So you've got to look at that, right? Because when for instance, for those of us who have done our own investing, okay, and we've taken care of our resources, we have been able to manage, all right, to live off, even now, off of our unearned incomes, and our stock market incomes and our dividends still seem to be rolling in. Now, this is directly because President Trump said that for America, everybody's 401ks were going to be safe. Now, what goes into a 401k? Well, stocks and bonds. So by extension, the TSX in Canada is going to be just as secure as it is down south, because we're so closely related to them. The market knows no good and bad. It already factors in those things, right, into price. And right now, the market's still maintaining high. because they know that the upside is absolutely limitless right now. So I'm not going to look at this in any sort of a negative light until the cabal throws their next shit at us. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, they're already done with. God has already won. I mean, we know where we are in Book of Revelations.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that the destination is the millennial reign. We know that the destination is new heaven and earth. So, I mean, to me, you know, I mean, that's the truth that I've been able to receive, and it certainly aligns with the bill. Also, the, you know, basically the stuff that you know, the Q Delta post basically said. You know, I mean, I try to take the meaning of where we go one, we go all to heart now. That means we got to have forgiveness for everyone. Mm-hmm. Okay? Which means, you know, the awake, the not awake, the vaxxed, the unvaxxed, the awake, the stupid, you know.
I understand. I totally understand. Are you still there?
Battles, right? You know.
Hello?
Yeah, we're losing you here again. All right, Dr. Mysterio, we're going to let you go. That was some powerful words. We'll stay in touch. We'll get you on hopefully next week if your connection is better. Hopefully everyone's internet's off going haywire right now. But we'll get you back on next week, okay?
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. Next week, what I'll do is I'll just flip off my Starlink connection, okay, and I'll flip onto a regular cell network, and that'll be more stable, and I'll, you know, I've got data for that, so no problem. Take care. God bless
you.
all your
we'll
listeners.
Talk soon. Bye. That is Dr. Mysterio calling in, giving us the, I guess, the positive light on the 15% world tax, or the government, the applicable. It's not for goods and services. These are countries that want to unify. But where's the money going to go? You know where the money's going to go? It's going to line politicians' pockets for global warming. Right there, global warming. That's where it's going to go. For create something that's not there, throw money at the problem that doesn't exist, pocket 90% of it, and say, yeah, we got something done for global warming. Wait a minute, they don't call this global warming anymore? What is it? Oh, it's climate change. Okay, no, it's not climate change. It's climate crisis. Yo, Ricky Spanish. Hello?
Ricky Spanish.
You there? Yeah, Ricky Spanish. Nobody, like, it's not, I don't know what's happening with people's internet tonight. I don't know if the grid is getting taken down, or I don't even know what is happening. Ricky Spanish, you have to unmute your microphone. He's got me on mute. So, obviously, I can't hear him.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, there you go. You're there. Okay, Ricky Spanish. What is going on with this world tax?
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I was trying to say that. I don't know what I was talking to myself. I guess you weren't there. So when I was trying to say this before was that it's not enforceable, and these other countries that are involved, the 7 of them, they don't have to. It's a sovereign world. Nobody has the ability to enforce taxes in other countries. But
here's the problem, Ricky Spanish. Let me tell you what the problem is. Canada would be the country to say, we want this. We love this. God bless the taxes. That's what Canada would do. They'll be the frontliners of this. That's the problem, Ricky Spanish.
Well, first you got to make profits to pay taxes. And right. The way things are going with the expenses going through the roof, you got steak is unaffordable. You know, chicken's unaffordable. They had the hack on
the food hack last week.
Yeah, so now the steak, they're putting big people out of business. You can't sell a steak for $40. You know, right. Like some places have supply chain, and you know they can get supply and it's not interrupted. But those other ones that were affected in that area, they were going out of business. And
Well, yeah, a steakhouse, the average steak is 18 to 35 bucks, is charging 40, 50 bucks for a steak. They're not staying in business much longer, right? So this is another attack on small business, and a lot of people don't see that the broader effect of this, the broader scope of this. When do you see them? Okay, everyone's talking about, they're going to go for food. There's going to be a food interruption, a food distribution issue. When do you see them taking out logistics, travel, like travel between point A and point B for our meat? Travel from point A to point B for our food. When do you see travel getting affected?
What kind of travel? Like
big rig trucks. Let's just start with big rig trucks. When do you start to see them get affected? When do you start to see that becoming an effect on our daily lives where logistically we can't bring in anything anymore?
Well, we went over this in November when I did my video with you. We're doing the whole oil embargo, 1976 and 2020, right? Well, no, 2021, because when Trump was in office, gas was $1.50, or I was paying $1.20. But now we're copying that era. So we still have a lot of people from Bush's era that are still in administration.
Neocons.
Yeah, they're just there and they're still on their agenda. I guess, Dr. Mysterio calls them the cabal, which is very true. The CNNs and all these other, I don't even know besides it's just absurd. Like the last guy, Anthony, talked about it too, is it's 100% that all the people of power are intentionally seeking those, like, whatever chief, like like the chief, they want the CEO, whether it's the municipality or a corporation. Mostly the municipalities or the federal agencies, they try to look at the directors of every single agency. They're all Frankists. They're all involved in the whole agenda, and that's what's going on. Is these people are taking these positions, and they even say it in dispositions. They say, well, I want to be the chief of police because then I can do whatever I want. And that's what's going on right now, is that people who are taking these powerful positions are doing it in.
Hello, Ricky Spanish. Did we lose you?
Yeah, probably because we're talking about things they don't want us to talk about. So if we say something, it's still, we're still on that censor. There's like phase 1 of the whole process. Remember we went over that? There was the census stage. There was the vaccination stage, and then there was the 666 stage, right? Is 2021 plus 2022 plus 2023. If you take out the 0, it's 666.
Right.
So as I said, the end of December, they're on their 666 agenda. Unfortunately, these people, they just, this is what they want, and that's what they. It's in their just. I think it's genetics. I think that's how they want to be. So, that's how the economy is going to be. It's like, even like Dr. Mysterio just said, you're going to have higher oil prices going into the summer, higher everything, higher food, higher. I went over this in November. This is exactly what's happening. Exactly what oil was at. You had XOM.
Well,
ExxonMobil was at $30 or it's $25 in November. Now it's, I don't know, what, $70. Oil per gas is some LA is $6 a gallon. That affects the prices of everything, right? Because the higher oil is going to $90 a barrel, gas will be $6 a gallon. That increases your expenses. So if I'm self-employed, I'm counting that. And I'm not paying taxes until I break even from those expenses. So as those expenses want to go higher,
I understand.
They can say, yeah, I'm going to charge 50% tax. But guess what? You keep raising inflation and going, with letting oil, because now all the hedge funds are behind it now. It's not just, hey, let's get in early. Oil's going to $90. Now, it's just like real estate. At the highest points, you get this sharp peak, So you had like GameStop last week, right? So at the high peaks, it runs up real quick, and then it comes down real quick. So you can go up, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I made 5 figures," and then in the next 10 seconds, it's down. It's like anything. Bitcoin did the same thing too. It went from, 10,000 in November to was at nearly 60,000 3-4 months later, and then boom, in the last month or so, it's down 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a short amount of time, losing 50% of value isn't really an asset. Imagine you lost 50% of your house's value in a month.
Oh, that's going to be coming soon. Ricky Spanish, I got this photo up here for everyone to see on the full screen here. How much more does it cost to live in Joe Biden's America? So 2021, $1,500 for 1,000 feet of lumber board in 2020 was $304. Now it's $1,500 for 1,000 feet lumber board in Joe Biden's America. $1,500. Wow. Look at that jump. And then gas. 1 gallon of gas is $1.95 in Joe Biden's America. In Trump's America. And now Joe Biden's America is $3.05 for a gallon of gas. And 1 ton of wheat was $183 in Trump's America. Now it's $251 in Biden's America. And 1 ton of coal was $39. Now it's $80. And a bushel of corn used to be $3.43. Now it's $6.86 in Joe Biden's America. So within a course of a few months after taking the reins, after being put in place, now I don't think he was elected. I think he was selected. Look what's happened to America.
Yeah, well, the Biden cabal, because these guys are the cabal, Illuminati and Obama. So, that's just their agenda. So, how we were talking about Fauci, was that 2 weeks ago, last time I was on? And this whole, you notice how the news, again, they're following us. They're stalking us about the story about Fauci. I said Fauci was going to get locked up. He's getting locked up.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing because the news gives me little details and I just follow up after the fact because I know what's going to happen. I can see it unfolding. They got the emails. They got they're giving me a little more detail. So I look other things up and then I find out that the same people that Fauci funded, because he got the money from Department of Defense and NIH.
And I heard he got some money from NASA too, from what I heard.
He got money a lot, and we want to see his books. That's going to come next. We don't want his emails. We want his books. We want to see what he's moving around, how much money he got.
Hold up, Ricky Spanish. Hold up. Just hear me out. What if it turns out to be like Joe Biden's son's laptop and nobody wants to touch it?
Right. Like everybody was trying to post the hard cheddar cheese that Biden was smoking on with Obama's daughter. And, it was factual. What? He did an interview after he got into office, but you can't say nothing on it, because you got the fact checkers. They fact check was Zuckerberg's, whatever. Zuckerberg is a front man for the military anyways. I've been saying that since I've been talking to you guys. So, the military owns Facebook and Instagram. Okay. They use that as
Didn't Facebook allow us to now say that the virus now is man-made? We weren't allowed to say it before, but now we are. Because Facebook says so.
Because the military, the whole thing is not only is it psychops, it's a security issue because the policies. So So Fauci gets funded, right, and DOD funding them, and these other agencies funding them, right? Intelligence agencies too. So they fund them. The money trickles down to some guy, Bazak, right? Then the money goes to another person, right? Who was the director of UNSCOM, right? They were involved in the biological weapons in the past, and they were the ones that tried to create the Iraq War.
Right.
So what I'm speculating on is that they were behind the Persian War. They were behind the Iraq War that had, Baghdad had no weapons. Meanwhile, they said they had weapons, right? They were saying also that it was a biological program and they wanted it. That's why they wanted to go into Iraq and go to war. They won't go to war with China, like you said, but it's deeper than that because Bush had history with Osama.
Yes, many.
And he was doing the construction for the Saudi Arabians, and the Saudi Arabians are deep in pockets with America. They're worse than Bill Gates. They've been buying up farmland. They have a lot of money invested into colleges. They're just like China. They own the colleges too, right? So you have involved in Fauci and him funding these gainful research. Basically, it's University of North Carolina, MIT, right. Massachusetts Institution of Technology, and Harvard. And those are the universities. They all, not only are they the think tanks, right? They come up with all the ideas, but they're funneling money from not only from the government, and they're probably, I would say they're highly being looked at about their books too. Right, because they have deceptive practices, and we want to basically see all their financials. So eventually, what's going to happen is that these colleges are going to have to show their books.
That's a
Harvard,
big deal,
MIT,
because in Canada they've been pulling this money laundering scam with Chinese students. They've been laundering money and giving them refunds, and the college gets to keep a percentage of the refund. And that's been a huge, we're talking in the billions in Canada for these colleges. That's just in Canada. And in the US, it's another hot mess of pile poop.
It's you got to follow the books, because the inspections of the financial records from those colleges and the people that they're involved with, you're going to see all the, DOD and all these people who are funding them. You're going to see those on the books, but you're going to see a lot of other things. And they also need to get those emails. All those people all the professors at all those colleges and all those work student professors, they need to go through all those emails. They need to go through all those people, because they all been compromised. Because UNC and MIT and Harvard, it's all written. There's all traces of them being involved in this outbreak. They had a lot of Chinese bought up all these colleges. So that I try to apply. Back when I went to go find colleges, it was a competition all the time against the Chinese. They were overloading our colleges. There was just so many of them. And, that was when there was so many of them that their parents were involved in the military, and they were coming around, and they're not doing good business. They're not following our laws. So they just come here, and, some of them, they go back to their own country after college, but while they're here, they're active duty military. And I've been saying that for a long time. That shouldn't be allowed.
Right.
So, the status though of I'm going to go into. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to find on it, but I'm waiting for the news to get, and all the stuff to come out more.
Hold on. Anna Key is saying they won't get far. Just remember Hill Dog's emails. Remember Hill Dog, her emails? There was lots of crime.
Yeah, but I showed you the image, right, of Hillary. There was the Daily Mail in the Discord. I showed you her eyes. And everybody I showed those eyes to, I've even showed some of my closest friends. I said, look at this picture. I zoomed in on her eye. It was not a human eye. I don't think that Hillary exists anymore, to be honest. So I think whoever that is isn't Hillary. I'm just saying, China, you could go. Yeah, for $2,000, I could get a face that looks like you. So I still believe that, because on these Chinese websites, I see them selling, like, if you want to be a bodybuilder, you could just pay $500 and you get it's like a bodysuit or whatever. It looks like a real body.
Yeah, and you put a T-shirt on, and it looks like you're built.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on,
Might
Ricky
as well
Spanish.
get that.
I want to thank you for posting in our Discord. Guys, Ricky Spanish is in Discord. Adam has a friend in Discord. He posts a lot of good posts. Ricky Spanish, I got to let you go. It's been almost 20 minutes here. I got to let you go, Ricky Spanish. Sure. It's been a good plug. We'll have you on very soon, and we'll keep us up to date on what's happening, okay?
Yeah, we're going to look into the Fauci stuff. Obviously, the news just hit on it hard, but we were ahead of that by like a week. I know Fauci's going to get locked up. He's getting locked up. It's over. So we'll see how it unfolds, what more comes out, and get some updates and some new intel from that. I appreciate you, Mike.
God bless you.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye. All right, guys, that is Ricky Spanish, and Ricky Spanish is making an appearance here on Mike in the Night and giving us an update. He's in the southern part of the United States, keeping his eyes open. He got arrested recently for speaking up after drinking a few tequilas and for not, you know what I'm talking, nowadays you go out and you start talking or you start saying certain things, people start, can't handle the truth anymore. And when people can't handle the truth, and if you're giving the truth, nowadays they don't even call you racist anymore, they just throw you in jail now. So that's it. That was Ricky Spanish on the show. Okay, so let's do one. What time is it here? Let me see what time it is. All right, it is almost 1:30 in Sydney. Okay, we got Ralphie. Ralphie, what's up, buddy? Hello? Ralphie? Man, something's wrong with the internet, man. So we lost Ralphie. Everybody's internet is the same. So we got Ralphie there in New Zealand wants to call in and weigh in on this global world tax. World tax. What is happening? Where did that article go? Here it is. Articles. G7 backs Biden's sweeping overhaul of global tax system. If you want to call in and talk about this global tax system and who's going to end up paying for it, UK Finance Minister Rishi Sunak Chakasha announced that the agreement in a video posted on Twitter Saturday, saying the G7 finance ministers hailing from Canada. Woo! France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK and the US had reached a historic agreement to reform the global tax system to make it fit for global digital age and, crucially, to make sure that it's fair so that the right companies pay the right tax in the right places. So here's the problem. Yeah, they're going to go after companies that should be paying more in taxes that have been getting away for the longest time in specific areas, but that's going to hinder us because in the end, it trickles down effect. It changes. Guys, I hope you guys bought some of the Bitcoin stocks. I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin stocks because Elon Musk changes his tune about Bitcoin mining. See, you're going to get this effect, this up and down effect. Bitcoin, we had it with oil.
Touching distance of the $40,000
this lady's talking. Okay, we had this problem, if you guys remember, during the oil crisis in 2000. Yo, Ralphie.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. How are you, my brother?
Dude, good. I've been trying to call you for weeks.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, no, because, I've been trying to call you on Skype on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, all the audio settings are on, it just doesn't work on my phone, man.
Well, you know that New Zealand is trying to do a backdoor thing with software companies so they could actually, what they do is it sets red flags on certain words and they cut your call off.
Well, maybe, because it's like I've been able to Skype other people, but I just can't Skype you from my phone at all.
Are you on a PC?
I'm on a Mac now.
Okay,
so,
you're on a Mac. Okay, so it's working. So
it's working on my Mac, but it's just weird because I've been able to call other people on Skype on my phone. So maybe there's, like you say, there's a backdoor. I mean, because Skype's owned by Microsoft, right?
Well, it doesn't. Well, people. I had a friend that was telling me that his Facebook chat, like the live, like we use for Skype, is broken. It's like every time he tries to make a call, they hang up on him. You say specific words or a sequence of words, it automatically flags it, and it automatically, because right now, in the close to the southernest part of New Zealand, they have an underground. They called it the the bunker, or the, what do they call it, the charity bunker or something, or the chastity bunker. They have about 2 to 7 square miles underground of a facility, recording and cataloging and people's calls, transaction emails, all kinds.
Yeah, that's really weird. And but anyways, I've got a story and a half for you. I've turned my video on now.
Oh, let me put you up here. But before you tell us the story, can you weigh in on this one here? G7 Biden sweeping overhaul of global tax system, 15% on, like, this is huge, dude. Huh?
Give me a second, man. Just give me a second. Keep reading the article.
Oh, sorry, I was putting you on screen here. G7 backs Biden sweeping overhaul of global tax system. A group of 7 finance ministers gathering in London agreed Saturday to back a global minimum tax of at least 15% on multinational companies. These multinational companies have been hiding their money for years, but that's been saving us money in the long run. Now they're going to raise everything by 15 points. What's going to happen? This is trickle-down effect that's going to affect us.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, they got to raise taxes to cover all the costs, right? Canada spent
But these are
$6
man-made
billion.
costs. We already are in agreement, because Facebook said so, that the virus is now man-made. Facebook said so. We've been saying it for 2 years, but Facebook has said so, that now it is man-made. So why are we paying for this?
I think we're fueling their habits, their whatever rollout needs to take into effect. It requires funds, right? Especially, you know, all the fines and everything. I mean, that costs energy, so I guess someone's got to pay for it.
Okay, I'm not yelling or getting mad at you. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to call a spade here and figure out why are we paying for everything that they screw up on? It should come out of their estate.
Well, you know, that's the tax fund that we live in. So there's always a revolving door when it comes to people being born into the system. And we got to just pay for their habits, right?
All right, tell us your story. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, man. So I had to pay for my new web domain, and I use a business account on my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And I never use credit card, right? Because, you know, I stay away from debt as much as possible. And I just noticed that some of the things they're implementing is trying to trap people into that, you know, that debt loop. For example, my first reaction when I received this new credit card, because you know how it expires every, 5 years or something. I got the new one as it was expiring because I had to pay for my web domain, and that's through my business account, and that's the only reason why I use my credit card is to pay online transactions. And when I got the new credit card, my first reaction was just to cut it up in half, right? So I just cut it up in half because I don't use credit card. And I've noticed now that they're really savvy, because when you cut it in half, the number actually, like the credit card number, goes vertically. So it's almost like even if it was cut in half, you can kind of still see your card details and you can still use it.
Oh.
And I just thought that was really interesting. Oh, and the thing that really annoyed me is to activate the account, you had to make a transaction on the credit card that wasn't a pay wave. Like you just had to basically spend money on the credit card to activate it. And that's really new because I've never had to do that before.
Yeah, they're doing all this weird Mickey Mousing, and what they're doing is it's going to be beyond social credit score in China. It's going to be watching and everything you do, and not only that, it's going to they're actually tying. Listen to this. At workplaces now, and they're actually going to tie your credit score to your social insurance number, which already is, but they're actually now going to check people's credit scores before getting a job now, anything. So if you want to clean toilets in some school, they're going to check your credit score, and if you have bad credit, they're not going to hire you.
Well, that's the business model now. I mean, look at the tallest buildings in your city. It's either banks and insurance, and I just find it really interesting how obviously they spend millions of dollars, promoting their product, which is financial tools or debt in this case. And I just thought it was really interesting that if you cut their credit card in half, you can essentially still use it.
That's
but
crazy,
anyways,
dude.
my story was really funny because I was really tired. It was the start of the long weekend, and I thought, oh no, I've already cut this card in half. That was my first instinct. I'm gonna tape it back together and go to the petrol station and spend $3 at the petrol station, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the girl was so busy because you know how it's sort of basically the petrol stations in New Zealand are self-service now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one person behind the counter, and she was too busy to sort of serve me. So she's just like, oh, yeah, I see that your credit card's cut in half. Why don't you just use it at the pump? And I was like, that doesn't sound right because anyways, I'll do it. And obviously because it's stuck together in tape, it got stuck in the machine. Mm-hmm. And so I spent ages with tweezers trying to get it out. But in the end, my card was stuck in there, and it tried to take out $150. So I canceled my card straight away, mm-hmm. even though, you know, I hadn't got any petrol. And it was just such a great way to start the long weekend and everything.
What is it? New Zealand Day there?
Oh, so it's the long weekend in New Zealand here. It's Sunday. It's a Sunday.
What is it? Like, what's the long weekend?
The long weekend is to celebrate Queen's birthday on Monday, but it's not even her birthday on Monday.
Oh, May 2-4 weekend. May long. Yeah. Or no, we're in April. No. We're in June.
Yeah, we're in June. So it's funny because it's the Queen's birthday, but like New Zealand has it this week, and I think Australia is next week. So it's not actually the Queen's birthday. It's just, I don't know, a public holiday. But yeah, that's my story, and I just thought it was really interesting how if you try and avoid debt as much as possible, they'll still try and get you. You know,
they're always gonna get you. Yeah. And can you tell us? Can you weigh in on what's happening with New Zealand with their housing scheme, where they're trying to make fix the housing issue? Because we discussed this on the show in great detail in the last, 3 years, about how housing is just over $1 million now. And are they going to fix, what are they going to do? They've already stopped foreign investing from coming in, or Chinese in money laundering. I think they have. Now, what are they going to try to do now to fix this issue? Do you know? Do you remember? It was last week.
I don't think they're going to fix the housing issue, to be honest. A lot of properties now, they always go to auction first. And of course, if you do that, I mean, you get first dibs if you're an investor, right? Because if it's highest bidder wins. And what I've noticed is a lot of the sort of the decent properties, especially if it's freestanding, not connected to another unit kind of thing, it's always just going to the investors, and then they basically buy it and then they rent it out. It's happened to several freestanding homes in my area where an investor has essentially bought it, and then a week later a for rent sign comes, right. So it's stacking. It's a monopoly game, but there's a few, there's only the players that started years ago that are kind of benefiting from it. So I don't think there's any incentive to fix the housing issue, mm-hmm. Because of that reason, because a lot of people are getting quite rich from it. And right. I've heard some stories, for example, I know some friends wanting to go rent a place, mm-hmm. And some of the owners are boasting, oh, this is my 20th rental property. And I actually said to one of them, I was like, well, some Kiwis don't even have one, mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people there that if you've already got a couple of properties in your portfolio, then you're doing well, because like I said, if there's a freestanding home and it hasn't been sold, it goes to market. First things first, it's going to go on auction. Mm-hmm. And obviously first dibs are going to be the investors, essentially.
Right, that's correct.
So I don't think there's an incentive to fix it, because why would they?
Yeah, that's right. But if they're going to have to... So now what's New Zealand in the news 2 days ago, where New Zealand's going to have to pick a side? Is New Zealand going to be Zealand, or is it going to be New Zealand?
That's a good one. Well, I don't know, man. I've completely disconnected from the news myself, just due to my own mental health, because I just find that it's kind of a bit draining. So I've done things like I've used a different type of browser, and that blocks everything. Adblock doesn't work anymore as a browser, because if you're trying to block YouTube ads, that there's a way around that. But the one that works for now, a really tech-savvy person told me about it, is called Brave browser.
Brave browser. That's been around. Yeah. Alex Jones has been promoting that.
Yeah. Well, okay, cool. I didn't know that, but that's a really good one because that definitely blocks everything. So there's no ads, nothing. So obviously the social media sort of things that are being promoted by GOV agencies and everything. I mean, I'm totally in the dark because I'm not seeing any of those pop-up ads. It's everywhere else. I've sent you a couple of photos of
dude. I keep getting COVID updates, COVID this. I go on Google Maps, yep. COVID region, COVID ball juice variant. Are you guys getting that fourth Delta B16 Delta Force Chuck Norris ball juice variant, the fifth wave?
Well, that's what I mean. I've kind of disconnected myself from all that because it definitely for my own mental health it just wasn't helping. So I've just been focusing on other things in my life, like walking my dog, for example, and living the simple life as if I had no internet essentially, because I'm not on social media, nothing. And I mean, I've got Ralphie.co.nz, which that's my form of social media now because I've got a chat room there and I play a lot of your shows on that, which is really cool. But so people can reach me on that if they really wanted to. And because I have a weekly podcast now where I actually ring like musicians and other people to interview, then it's almost like I'm kind of talking to them, like it's that old school 101 phone call thing.
Right.
Oh, by the way, in the chat there's Alan Howick, who's a friend of yours there, Mike, and he's actually a musician, and his interview is coming this Monday.
Oh,
we
really?
did an interview. Yeah, we did an interview over not through Skype because again that's Microsoft. I actually did it through what's that chat room that you keep promoting? It starts with D, not D Live, but the other one, Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I can Bluetooth the audio, we did the interview through Discord. So maybe that's a way forward for you, man. Like, have you ever thought about?
We have a Discord channel. You're on there, aren't you? On there?
Yeah, no. But have you ever thought about getting phone calls through that instead of the gate system through Skype? Because like I said, man, I've been trying to reach you for weeks, like last week and stuff, right? I call you and it's just like no sound, remember? Yeah, that's because I can't reach you through my phone at all, regardless of settings. Like I've been able to Skype other people on my phone, but not you for some reason.
That's bizarro. That's totally bizarro.
Watch the space, hey? Yeah, I almost like this, like how I use Brave browser to kind of so that I don't get any ads and things like that. It's almost like we're using technology against technology to bypass all this nonsense.
Yeah, well,
stuff,
you use the technology to loop around the technology It's like who's watching the watchers, right?
Yeah, but if you find that you're getting no calls from New Zealand or it's just not working, maybe it's time to start using Discord and stuff, because I'm sure you can use the Bluetooth, right, for that?
Yeah, I could do that. That's not a big deal. I could get
yeah.
that. I need
start
to
thinking of other ways,
Yeah. All right, Ralphie, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to get his name on the show here. Matthew, who's in Melbourne, Australia, saying that the Delta ball juice strain is hitting there now hard, and they're locking down Australia again.
Okay, yep, I'll stick around. Thanks.
God bless, Ralphie. Thank you so much.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
Bye. All right, that is Ralphie out of New Zealand, and he's in the green room. Oh, there he goes. And we got to call Matthew. We got to find out what's happening with this ball juice variant. Apparently, there's a new variant in Australia, and they're looking to lock it down again. He sent me some very damaging stuff there the other day. I don't think I could even read this on my channel, some of the stuff he sent, which is legit. It's like legit stuff, but I'm kind of afraid to read it on my channel because this could bring me like big problems, right? So let me get Matthew here in Melbourne, Australia right now. Matthew?
Hey.
Hey, good to hear from you, buddy. Can you tell us what's happening in Australia with this new variant?
Well, I hardly watch from the news at all, but I just get the highlights. Yeah, they make it out like we can catch it just walking on the street in the suburbs here, and they made pretty much every main drag of Melbourne, like exposure site.
Okay, I'm going here, and everything. Wow, it's empty again? Everything's empty again?
Yeah, it's a suburb just across from me. I seen one guy. He's walked down the main street there, and a lot of the are they've got the for lease or for sale signs up. So I think all of that warning that you've been doing over the last 6 or 7 years about the big housing market crash and all that, I think that's about to get going now.
Wow. So here it is, empty place. This is from this was filmed yesterday. So today where you're at, it's Sunday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're saying this massive infection of the Delta variant, ball juice. I call it ball juice. Delta Force, Chuck Norris, and wow, they're scanning QR codes now from your vaccinations.
Seen something about KFC needing to provide your ID or driver's license now. I haven't been there, but
yeah, Kentucky fried chicken. So now this was first detected in India. So I don't know, man. Yeah, and then you go to the hospitals and nobody's there.
Yeah, I could if I really want to go suss out one of the major hospitals right near me. But I've been enjoying myself at home. Hardly left home lately.
So here's the problem with this, Matthew. We got parts of the United States that are fully open, and they've been open for a long time, and closures don't do anything, and distancing does nothing. You got Germany saying that lockdowns did zero. If anything, it caused more damage. And then you got Canada and Australia going against everything everyone's saying and saying, no, we got to lock down because of Delta Force ball juice.
Yeah, so Thursday, I think it was the week-long lockdown finished, but that was only for regional. So the metropolitan around Melbourne has stayed in lockdown, and yeah, I'd say Thursday this week coming, I'd say they could relax some of the restrictions, but we're going to be going through like the.
So does Facebook have to say so to do it, or what? Like usually Facebook needs to give us authorization to go ahead and open up now, because apparently Facebook is. Australia's Victoria reports Delta Force COVID variant in new outbreak. New variant has been linked to any sequenced cases elsewhere in Australia, but patients had traveled to New South Wales.
Yeah, when it was announced Wednesday that there could be a lockdown, people just fled, and lots of people, because my dad is back where I'm from, like 3 hours north of Melbourne. He was saying there's heaps of people with caravans and all that just going up that way.
There's your Daniel Andrews there, your best friend there on the news there.
Yeah, I heard a little rumor about him.
Didn't he get thrown out of a window?
Possibly, but the billionaire trucker Lindsay Fox, apparently his union reps were having a meeting or something down where his holiday house is, and Andrews showed up. They must have had a bit of history with meetings and that. He showed up and caused a scene, and one of the guys got really angry and pushed him over.
Wow.
So probably done the state a really good deal doing that, but I'd hate to know what that guy's going through at the moment.
Wow, what's this military there? Military trucks.
It's a bit hard to say.
Oh, that's in India. Never mind. That's in India. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Public order response are ramped up throughout this last week and a bit.
So here it is. Where did Australia's first case of the COVID Delta variant ball juice come from, and how infectious is it? Here it is. Victorian health authorities are concerned about the recent spread of more infection. Okay, dude, you're going to have to do us a favor, okay? Because I don't even think I could even go to Australia, but I need you to do me a favor. You're gonna go to a hospital with a camera on your like a little pinhole camera on a set of glasses or a spy camera, and just go to the 3 of the biggest hospitals and show us all these people in this hospital, because I don't believe it one bit. Nobody believes it anymore. The gig is up.
The only reason I can think of hospitals starting to get a lot of people in there is from the vaccine injuries.
Exactly.
And there's a vaccine site right near me. So on Friday, I think it was, on my way home from work, that place was banked up back to the main road. Just cars waiting to go in there.
I saw the lineup. I saw the queue going for miles.
Yeah.
A long queue of people waiting to get their vaccine. So vaccine injury. So there's going to be a recourse on this, because we had our scientist on at the beginning of the show going over what the other injection is, and nobody knows why we're getting this stuff. It doesn't even link to COVID. It doesn't help. It doesn't make any sense. And them themselves have told us, oh, this doesn't going to stop you from getting COVID anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, yeah.
Well, they said it themselves. Facebook said so. Holy crap. Yep. We've resorted to a point where now it's Facebook goes ahead and agrees and says, okay, now it is man-made. Why are we not going to arms and going to war? This does not make any sense. Why are we going to? Why isn't Australia now that China's? Hear me out. China has been sanctioning Australia with their coal, their wheat, their all their exports. Okay, so China's been sanctioning Australia during this COVID, only because Australia wanted to investigate where the virus origin came from, and Australia got shut down. Okay? Now, why doesn't Australia now say, okay, with the stroke of a pen, all foreign ownership corporation through through China, goodbye, and blah, 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 and then raise interest rates only on foreign investors and leave the locals, kind of making their way, and just raise interest rates only on specific or suspicious mortgages? I would do that.
Yeah. Well, you got to consider China has bought out a lot of our land here.
I know they bought, but with the stroke of a pen, oh, no more. It was under a lease category subsection variant ball juice 3, and now we're going to have to surrender that land back to Australian territory. That's all it takes. It's a pen.
It does seem a bit sus. They would have at least sent ships out to sea and at least met with China.
Oh, you know what? Even better. Let me tell you something even better. Post it on Facebook and let Facebook approve it, so Facebook said so. And then you could go ahead and go to war with China.
Just let Facebook be like the in-between.
That's right. Yeah, let Facebook be the in-between, because this is getting sickening. So now, are you on lockdown? Can you leave your house?
I can, for the restrictive reasons. I can go out for exercise and all that.
But you can't go out and, let's say, pick up a nice roast beef sandwich somewhere?
They say within 10 Ks now.
So 10 clicks.
10 just be like.
So that's 7 miles.
6 or 7 miles.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And also just found out today that Australia itself could possibly have the vaccine passport as digital on our MyGov website, like the government-initiated website. So that's going to be massive.
This is really making me sick to my stomach. Because you know why, Matthew? Because you know why this is making me sick, Matthew? Because Canada's going to follow in line with this. Every time Australia brings out the ball juice, Canada brings out the ball juice. Now we're screwed. And then you get Ricky Spanish down in southern Carolina and Florida there telling us everything's open and he's drinking tequila at a bar. What the hell is going on?
Ricky Spanish.
It's strange.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just upset because Canada's going to follow in suit with the Delta Force variant ball juice, and that's pissing me off.
Now, with Canada, or Canada versus Australia. We have MyGov. What's it called there?
What's MyGov?
MyGov is like so you can go on to the government website and see like the taxes and all your personal sort of government stuff. It's like a personal profile on the government website.
Oh, we have something called Revenue Canada. It tells us our income, what we made, what we paid in taxes, what we owe, and that's what we have. We don't have really. I know they want to tie the vaccine passport to that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually announce they're going to do it.
Dude, I just because you can see Canada and Australia and New Zealand and the UK are in a completely different plane. They're on a different plane. Okay.
Yeah.
America is gonna, if they fully open, what they said was it June 31st or June 30th. America said they're going to be fully open and that's it. Dude, I'm concerned about this because if America fully opens and Canada stays shut and Australia stays shut, because by then the Delta juice is gone. They're going to be talking about like some variant ball juice 3 is going to be coming out by then.
Yeah, it could be another one they make up.
And now it won't come from India. This one's going to come from Tibet. They're going to find it in the abominable snowman's going to bring it, and people won't believe it.
Yeah, some random place. That's crazy.
So you can't work?
I can work, yeah. It's just my work has looked at whoever's got annual leave built up and said, "Oh, just take some time off." But the people that pretty much just started within the last year, they don't have much and they have to keep going to work, that's all.
And JobKeeper's over?
They were talking about a business stimulus last week. But no JobKeeper that I could remember.
Yeah, because I think JobKeeper fizzled out last month. So there's a lot of people right now in Tasmania who are 50% behind, or 50% of Tasmanians are in mortgage crisis right now.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more ramp up of mortgage stuff, I guess. With the current situation, it'll eventually come out that people who own businesses are starting to default on loans, and next is their housing. So I wouldn't be surprised if probably end of the year, a lot of people are going to be out of their own homes.
Matthew, can you go on our Discord if you don't mind? I want you to post those screenshots you took. I don't want to mention it on the show because they'll find a way to hang me from a lamppost outside. If you don't mind posting that in our thing, those screenshots that you sent me on Instagram, whenever you get a minute, whenever there's no rush, but if you can do that, I would really appreciate, so people in the group could know what's going on. Because if you guys, the screenshots you sent me about leadership, remember those ones you sent me yesterday or the day before?
Oh, yeah.
Those are major. That's huge.
Scotty Morrison.
Huge. This is like it's like trying to, yeah, if you don't mind putting it on Discord. Are you on Discord?
I'm going to sign up.
Join our Discord. Is Mike? It's Mike in the Night Discord. I'll get somebody to post it here, the link to the Discord here in the live chat, because I really need you to post those, because again, I don't want to be hanging from a live post somewhere. I just don't want, yeah. So, yeah, Justin S is asking for the Discord chat. Hold on, let me see if I can go to invite friends here. I got my Discord open right now. We got tons. There's Discord right there. I got it open right now. Tons of people are commenting in there right now. And let me see here. How do you do this again? I'm new to Discord, so home. Okay, add friends. No. Friends. Add friends. No, I forgot how to do it.
Maybe if you work it out and just send it out to people on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody will post it in the comments here soon enough, because the link of it, the link for it always dies. The link dies, and then I have to create a new link for it every time.
Is it like a time sensitive or
It's a
something?
time sensitive link, and it really pees me off because I'm trying to share a link for you guys to join the room, and I don't know how to do it because there's just so much here. And anyways, so if you guys don't mind, please go ahead and put the link there. It's Mike in the Night. This is what it looks like right here. There's people posting stuff on here all the time. Let me go full screen. It's Mike in the Night there. I don't know why I can't find this damn thing. So if somebody could post a link for it in the live, there it is right there. So we got Bitcoin. That's our Bitcoin room there, guys. That's Mike in the Night right there. Okay, wow, there's a ton of stuff here. And then we got Bitcoin room, and let's talk solutions. So that's another little area we have there on Discord that we could just chat. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, okay, Matthew, thanks for the update on what the heck is happening there in Australia. And just keep us informed. Keep sending me links. I check them. We'll talk soon, okay?
Sure, no problem.
All right, God bless you, Matthew.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Bye.
All right, bye.
I think we need to start getting right with God. I think everyone needs to start getting right with God real quick in a heartbeat. That's just me. I think, man, we're at a point right now where we're going to have to start to go all biblical now and start to find other ways around what's happening. Look what's happening in Australia again. You got the Delta Force ball juice variant. You know what? We could just call somebody right there right now and find out what's happening. And they tell us, yeah, this is happening there. I don't even trust the news anymore. This could be a ploy to get Canadians to lock down again. Or, I don't know. So, Ralphie, if you know the link for my Discord, let me know what it is, because it changes all the time. And I would like to invite more friends to this. Oh, invite people. Okay, I think I found it. Copy link. Okay, invite people for Mike in the Night Discord. Or send a server invite. Ah, here we go. Copied. Okay, guys, here's the server invite for the thing. I got it. There's the server invite for the Discord. Hopefully, Matthew could post those screenshots. I don't even want to touch those on this show. Because, again, I'll be hanging out from a lamppost outside. Yeah, there's the invite link right there, guys. It should work. Okay, Blunt News put one in, too. There's another invite link right there. Guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just getting really sick and tired of this BS. It's getting out of control. All right, let's go through, before we get through more headlines and stuff, let's do a 12-second channel plug here real quick. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to get to 14,000 subscribers by Christmas. Guys, next week, the Wednesday show, Death of the Markets, and next Wednesday show, Mike in the Night, They'll Never Fight for You. Mike in the Night next week. Don't forget to I'll give you guys a link to the reminder so you guys could remind yourselves for next week's show. They will never, ever fight for you. And guys, please send me your links on Instagram. I do see them. I do check them. If I don't reply, it doesn't mean like I'm ignoring you. It's just I get several messages through the day. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. Bundle packages, a really good guy. If you go back to last week's Mike in the Night, he gave us an update on what happened to his booth there in Huntington Beach, where it got destroyed or ripped apart by a bunch of TikTokers that went to some sort of party and kind of ruined it for a lot of people. Guys, don't forget to subscribe or support the Mike in the Night Amerifornia tour with Lord Humongous, going across America in his van to pick up stories basically to share them across the Commonwealth. And don't forget to check out Ralphie.co.New Zealand. My intro song is by him. And you could, for the right price, he could make you a song, any song you want. I gave him 3 little things, and he made I want this and this to say it, and that's it. And he figured it out on his own, and he got it working within minutes. He messages me back an hour later, here's a song for you. I'm like, wow, you audio, you recorded, you did all the work yourself, and wow. Okay, anyways. So Johnny Boy Silver is saying Delta Force Ball Juice variant. That's exactly what it is. They call it the Delta Delta F, and I was calling it Delta before, like months ago. I was calling it that. Man, I'm so disappointed. Like, this is so disappointing. What's happening and what has been happening and why. Oh, God. All right, let's see if we could get, maybe we could call somebody in India right now real quick and find out what the heck is going on in India, because I'm getting different mixed messages coming out of India now with this whole Delta thing. And so Citrus Lemonade is saying, I'm not great at navigating Discord. Neither am I. I just kind of played around with it on my phone. It's easier to use on the phone because you have limited buttons, so it makes it more easier. There's too much shadiness happening. Okay, let's go to a few more articles here and see if we can get somebody to call in on the show. Let's jump into our article mode here. So Australia, I don't even know where to go with this anymore. It's like, wow. All right, it's happening, and it's probably spreading. Now this was in the news in 2017, 2018. Now, is it coming back to haunt us, or is it coming back to create more scare? It's happening, and it's probably spreading. Canadian health officials baffled by mystery deadly brain disease. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we need right now. Some mystery. You notice it's all a mystery. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to us. I don't, yeah. So, it was really good. We got a lot of good callers today. We had Dr. Mysterio on. We had Ricky Spanish was on. Ricky Spanish had a lot of good information. And then we had, what's his name? Ralphie call in. Then we had, we've had a lot of good callers. We had Matthew in Australia.
You're talking about all man.
So we're doing okay tonight. We got a lot of good callers, and okay, so it's happening. It's probably spreading. It's probably. So they're not sure if it's spreading, but it's probably. And baffled by mystery deadly brain disease. It goes on to say, while people in the province have been suffering from alarming symptoms that appear to stem from the unknown brain-damaging illness for the past few years, no certain cause has yet been identified. Health officials have been looking into potential environmental and animal exposure, but uncertainty prevails. Could this be the link? Could this be the excuse they use for vax damage? The damage from the serum is causing this, try to connect the dots here, and then they're going to just fall back on this as a fallback. I wonder, Someone's telling me to get Dominic. Let me get Dominic on. Let me see if Dominic has a Skype on. Let's see if we could, he's in my favorites, so let's see if he picks up. Okay, he's not. He's probably tied up somewhere. He's in Mexico. He fled Canada because he was tired of. He just sold everything and moved to Mexico. Yemen won war. Saudi, U.S. in no position to dictate terms over victors, say foreign policy. So this is huge. This is something you won't be seeing in Western media right here. That is something they will never, because the victors always dictate the terms. High-ranking Chinese defector reportedly working with the DIA has direct knowledge of China's bioweapons program. So at least people are defecting the communist Chinese, and they are being told the increase of pressure of China of recent days is due to the defector with intimate knowledge. In fact, Wary didn't know right away because they wanted to make sure that they all got what they needed before telling him. So this is somebody from a Twitter that's tweeting this out, that China has a lot of bioweapons, and they already released one to the public, or one got released to the public. Who knows if it was by accident? Who knows, right? And let's move on here. And yeah, this is one that's not making Western media news either. U.S. port workers refuse to unload Israeli ship. So that's in the news, and that I didn't find out about that till someone sent me that. What else? Oh, this guy's great. These are the type of people that don't have to worry about where they're going to get their next meal because they're sucking off the public tit. These people are sucking off the public tit, off our hard-earned tax dollars. They don't have to worry about where they're going to get their next meal. Look what this guy. Look what this guy says. German minister under fire after report that government planned to dump unusable COVID masks to disabled and homeless people. You piece of garbage, scum, garbage. Let me find the right audio for this.
You're not a nice person. You're not a nice person.
This is disgusting. Dump unusable junk on disabled and homeless people. You piece of garbage. The one person that doesn't have to worry about where he's going to get his next meal from? The German Minister of Health? Right here. This is Portuguese for thank you very much. All right, what's going on? Buddy, August Jones needs to call in. He's in Vegas. We need someone in that area. I'm running for higher grounds in Midwest before years, and we need August Jones on the show to give us an update on what's happening, where he's moving, where he's going, what he's planning, what he's doing with, and like kind of give us an update. All right, we got Lord Humongous saying woo. All right, let's move on. Chinese military. Okay, here it is. Listen to this. Chinese military has its own UFO task force, and it's been overwhelmed by surge in sighting reports, says media. Pentagon isn't alone in investigating strange objects spotted in the skies, according to reports. The Chinese military has also been tracking UFOs, and in recent years has registered an uptick in sightings. So, could this be tied to the ball juice variant strain and the mystery brain disease that we talked about a few minutes ago? Could it all be, are we connecting the right dots here? What are they? I mean, half these guys don't know. Half these guys, I could bet you $100. Half of the guys here with briefcases have shredded newspapers in their briefcases. They have nothing in there. I could guarantee they have shredded Japanese or Chinese newspapers in there. Give it some weight, you know? I got something in here, you know? So we got Johnny Boy Silver saying, I'm living now in the Wilmette Valley of Oregon. The people here have drunk the Kool-Aid. Johnny Boy, call us, man. Call us. We got Eduardo on the line. Whoa. It just hung. Why did it hang up for? Everyone's internet is acting really weird. Let's see if Eduardo picks up. Let's see if he picks up.
People here have drunk.
Mikey. Yo, how are you, my brother?
Good. How's the sound?
It's perfect. I could hear you perfectly. You're looking good, buddy.
Nice and warm today in Toronto, man.
Good.
Humid. 32 degrees.
Yep, that's about 97 in Fahrenheit. Okay, bud, what do you got for us? Tell us. Give us something.
Have you ever heard of a Curly Whirly chocolate bar?
No. Why?
They come out of the UK.
Should I try one?
Don't buy one.
Why?
You'll get charged for assault with a deadly weapon if you don't clean your hands before you go into the store.
What?
Yeah, man. 2 weeks ago, a guy, Buddy Lee's amateur pro boxer, turned pro boxer. He's about 51 years old. He was up in the Alliston area. He went into a British candy store. The lady told him, you got to wash your hand, sanitize your hands. He refused. He says, I just want to buy a couple chocolate bars. Walked in, grabbed the Curly Whirlies, put them on the counter. The lady starts freaking out on him. She called the cops. He waited for the cops to show up. She wouldn't let him buy the chocolate bars. Cops investigated, and that was the end of it. And then a few days ago, he gets a notice in the mail that he's got charges on him. Assault with a deadly weapon.
What?
Yeah. This morning he had to
Hello,
go up
everyone.
to Alliston, turn himself in, get processed, and now he's going to court for assault with a deadly weapon. A curly whirly. Actually, there's two. So I don't know if he's going to get one charge or two charges, because there's two curly whirlies involved that he never purchased.
I don't even know how to process what you just told me. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I think they're purposely trying to find ways to upset people and I think they're making up laws and making up BS this is all being made up as this is improv now. This is no longer scripted. This is not scripted anymore. This is improv. Make up the BS as you know what? I turn around and once this, give it a couple of years till things start to move in place and they start to realize, now, let me ask you, Eduardo. The other day, last week, Facebook said so that now, Facebook said so, not me, not you, but Facebook said so that we're allowed to say that this virus now is man-made. Okay, fine, Facebook said so. Now, the people that are freaking out now, and why are we going to war? What the hell is going on? Why are we going to... If this happened 100 years ago and a country let out a virus...
Mikey, 100 years ago, if they would have let out a virus, nothing would have happened because, so 1921 in Canada was 98% of it was rural farming communities.
Oh, you know what I'm saying, Eduardo. If they had, let's say they were tech like a little bit savvy with when it comes to news to get this story out. Oh, by the way, your aunt died of this, and your uncle that passed away died of this, and this was released by the Chinese on purpose. So what happens then? Why aren't we going to arms and going over the land and over the ocean? What's going on?
In the big scheme of things, the way I see it going down, it's big business wants to take total control. They're getting richer. Amazon is getting richer. Amazon never really gets affected by anything. We've got meat plants getting shut down in the States. Have you been to the food store lately?
I have, yes.
I paid $38 for a pair of ribs today.
But did you pay it in pesos?
No, man, Canadian. Whatever. Canadian
That's like
dollars.
$30 American. Okay.
Yeah. A year ago, they were $22, $23.
That's like $16 American.
Yeah. So food's almost doubled. Steel siding is almost doubled. Wood is quadrupled. Most materials are going sky high through the roof, and inflation is only 2 or 3%. Isn't that amazing, Mike?
You know what's also amazing?
Me or you, would they?
Well, you know what else also amazing, Eduardo? The simple fact that this didn't happen during the Trump administration, because if it did, the media would have a field day with it. Oh, since Trump's presidential lumber has gone up 3,000%, the price of this, the price of that, the country is falling apart, Trump is destroying everything. He's lucky he didn't get reelected, because if this happened to him during his administration, this would be all over the place. It'd be written on the moon for people to see.
Anyways, you're trying to break the backs of Canadians. You've got Kevin J. Johnson that's been in jail for, we're going on a week and a half now. You know, Kevin J. Johnson is trying to...
Yeah, I know. He's been on our show before. He's running for mayor of Calgary.
You know what they're holding him for?
What?
He went to try to buy a pair of shoes at Aldo Shoes in Calgary Mall. And he's got a mass exemption from a doctor. And the girls wouldn't let him into the store. So he never actually entered the store. And the girls came to the entrance of the store. They were talking to him. And they got upset. And they said, store policy, you can't come in, blah, 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 blah. Never accommodated him. And what's that guy? Who's the current leader of Alberta? Jason Kenney. Mm-hmm. Jason Kennedy criticized them because a couple weeks earlier, Kevin J. Johnson said publicly, when I'm elected mayor, I will come to the doors of Alberta Health Service employees, that have
Arrest them.
violated the rights and done these illegal, call it search and seizures, or
Yeah,
these
unlawful
are
arrests, all this Mickey Mousing, yeah.
and they're blowing this out of proportion, and they're freaking out because they're thinking, hey, this guy's getting pretty popular. He could actually become mayor. So they write a law saying that, and they backdate it and get it passed through legislature, that anyone working with Alberta Health Services, or anyone related to the vaccines, that they have immunity from prosecution.
Oh, that's fantastic. So there's no more Nuremberg trials coming?
Not if you're an Alberta Health Service employee or a public employee in Alberta. And this is the same Jason Kenney that wants to change his voter base.
Are you guys in lockdown still there in Ontario?
Oh, we can buy food all we want. No problem. A pair of shoes, pair of shirts, T-shirt. No.
But you guys had another rally?
Actually, I passed today. I've been to so many rallies. Yesterday, I was at the Hugs Over Masks exercise rally. I brought the PA system down there. 4 or 5 bylaws, half a dozen cops on bikes, 1 supervisor, and they're just waiting for Alberta Health and Safety to pounce on the people that are trying to exercise in the park.
Oh my God!
Nothing happened though.
I can't believe. Is there a way we could call
Ripley's Believe It or Not?
No, Kevin J. Johnston in jail?
Are you kidding? It took his lawyer 8 days to get a hold of Kevin J. Johnston. It's only because we put money on his convict, you get like a stipend that people can donate money to your accounts, so you can call out and you can go buy Curly Whirlies, of all things, in jail, possibly. So, but he's locked down 23 hours a day. He gets out for twice a day for half an hour to make phone calls. That's it. There's only 3 books in that Edmonton Remand Center.
Dude, he
is a political prisoner. This is happening in Canada.
Yeah, he is definitely a political prisoner. He goes over to buy some shoes. They arrest him. They basically find a way, arrest him, throw him in jail, backdate a law. Wow, this is... Oh, man.
Now, remember the May 6th court injunction that there's a corrupt judge by the name of Rook, or he's a far left, I don't know. I'm going to say he's a corrupt judge. That's my opinion. And as of today, I think we still have Constitution, so I'm allowed freedom of thought and opinion. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last here in the Soviet Republic of Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan?
Yeah. Well, we got tyranny here. This is not a free country. If you guys think we're living in a free country here, you talk about the solution. Now there's your brain rotting disease.
No, but that brain rotting disease that they're trying to kind of bring out is but this has already been happened. This was way before COVID. This is when I don't know if you know, but the last story that we broke on the channel on Mike in the Night, like a week or two, November of 2019, before COVID started to make headlines. In November 2019, the last story we broke before COVID was the lead in Canadian pipes. It makes the Flint, Michigan water look like a walk in the park, like across Canada. And that was the last story we broke, and then COVID took off.
Well, there's not many leaded pipes around anymore because they were installed.
Or chemicals in our water or crap or just junk, and it's every major city is suffering from it or something. And it was showing every different province broken down and chemicals and lead and all kinds of weird stuff in the waters and arsenic.
Well, I've been using a charcoal filter on my drinking water for years and years and years, so maybe I'm okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, I still thought we lived in a free country, so I probably got that brain rotting disease too.
Yeah.
So we're all hoodwinked up till people start waking up. So, anyways, it's all a distraction. You heard about the native children that got found down the road from your house.
Yeah, we covered that last week. We talked about it for a bit. It's very, very sad, very depressing, very, very, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
We've known about this, and it's been going on in the underground circles for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Natives have been complaining about this. Why is it coming to the surface now?
Well,
why is it coming?
Well, you
Why?
need a new front, right? You need some sort of cover. You need some sort of big headline, right? To sweep
What's
the nation.
actually happening this week in Parliament before they go away for the summer break? And they were never there to begin with.
What is it? Is it Bill C-10? Holy shoot!
Yeah, it's coming.
Canada, I might get shut down, eh?
I'd say odds are very good, and if you've got a Brave browser, you can put in a plugin where you can get onto the dark web, and you will be able to access websites that are on. It's not the crypto network; it's the blockchain network or blockchain. It's outside of the DNS keys, from my understanding. I got to get up on this real quick.
Guys listening and watching, please pay attention. Guys, they're trying to pass a bill in Canada called Bill C-10, and what it's going to do,
They're not trying. Second reading already went through the Senate. Mike, it's happening this week.
So that means it's over for Mike in the Night?
It could be, unless you're government friendly. Are you friendly to the government, Mike? Do you trust your government? Do you believe your government?
Well, but the problem is I lost all faith in governments like back in 2004.
Well, a little bit sooner than I did. I lost faith in them in 2013, like totally lost faith in them. And I've been trying to fight back any which way I can and just bring, doing what I can.
I'm not about fighting back. I'm just showing what they're telling us and kind of making sense of it. That's all. Because none of it makes sense.
It actually makes perfect sense, Mike. You got to think, we're living in North Korea.
Uh-huh.
Then it makes perfect sense. That's where we're going to be in a few short years. Think about it. We're getting locked down. Now, you guys were lucky. You had Vlad from Hugs Over Masks and a few other patriots who got together, raised funds, and actually got businesses to open. And within a few days, when all these businesses announced that they were going to be opening, the BC government softened things a lot and allowed businesses to open. That's why your restaurants are allowed to open. That's why people are chasing the health services, which are nothing more than Nazis, out of the restaurants when they're over capacity or whatever. The government mandates. A few people have stood up, and all the rest just enjoy it, thinking, oh, well, I guess that's just the way it is. A lot of people are really ignorant about what's going on because they've got the brain rotting disease that comes from too much MSN. You blame the water, I blame the media.
I know the media is rotten to the core. The media is no longer on our side. The media is supposed to be the watchdog. The media is supposed to be for the people, by the people. So the average Joe could buy his donuts and go to work and fix his cars and do his stuff and not have to worry about what governments and banking and institutions are doing because the media is watching out for us. But they're not.
They're not. And in school, you're always taught the media has to who, what, when, where, when, why. And you have to do honest reporting. You're supposed to show all sides of the story, bring out the facts, try to minimize the amount of personal content or interpretation or bias, and people could decide for their own. But that's been slowly eroded. And now Trudeau put in the kill shot a couple years ago when he started bailing out the media because they were failing.
600 million once, 320 million another, and 144 million another. So we have state-run media in Canada. Legitimately, we do, because without our tax, it's funded by taxpayers.
You call it media, I call it propaganda.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, man.
I do, but I don't think our listeners get it. So right now, I'm looking at buying a new pair of shoes. I've been thinking about this for 5 months, Mike. In Ontario, the shoe stores are closed.
So you can't buy a pair of shoes.
I've got put on a little bit of COVID weight. I can't even buy another pair of shorts.
Whoa.
Probably off of Amazon I could, but regular stores, not happening in the Greater Toronto area. Hell, you go buy a chocolate bar, they get charged for assault with a deadly weapon if it's British made.
Dude, you can't even make this stuff up, dude. If you go back 100 years and say man gets arrested for putting 2 chocolate bars on the counter, people will lock you up in an insane asylum and tell people that this guy is nuts. First thing they'll do is when they take our clothes off to process us, they're going to say we're Chinese agents. You know why? Because everything we have on us is made in China.
Good point.
So that's the first thing they'll notice. Wait, they're Chinese. No, they're not. Yeah, but everything they have on them is made in China. Well, they must be Chinese agents then. Like, that would be a good plot for a story.
What's the price of fuel there in BC? What are you paying?
I don't know, like $1.46 a liter?
Pesos.
No, $1, almost $1.50, I think. Yeah, I think.
Not too bad here. It's running gases from anywhere from $1.25 to $1.30, $1.32.
Okay, you guys are always cheaper out there. Alberta's the cheapest usually.
Calling me cheap, Mike?
No, Alberta's always the cheapest, I'm saying. The cheapest, the least expensive is what I mean.
Yeah. So, you know what? The plan's working great. They're crashing the economy. They're trying to make everyone broke. Eventually, it's going to come to the point where government, please save me. Do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bend over and I'll take any swab you want. I'll take any jab in the arm you want. Just give me some food. That's what it's going to come to. And this is the way COVIDism comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the road we're on. I see the same thing happening in Australia.
They just locked it down again with the ball juice variant, Delta Force variant juice.
Well, if Australians want to lock down, go ahead. Canadians, if we want to lock down, we're doing it. Me, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm ignoring the bastards. And so I got another trespassing ticket at City Hall last Sunday because I was trying to get video for Kevin J. Johnson. Was it last week or the week before? Yeah, they were handing out ice cream if you got the jab.
Yeah, ice cream trucks were there. Actually, you know who was covering that was Gerald Celente was talking about that too.
Okay. So
yeah,
I
he was talking about the ice cream trucks too.
Hello, everyone.
I got a trespassing ticket there because I wanted to get in closer to get better video. I wasn't harassing anyone.
Of course you're not harassing anyone.
They're like, get some better video, please. It's a public area. So no, it's private property.
Eduardo, this doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know if you know my story. There's this. I opened a business in town similar to someone else's business. This guy's in his 60s. I opened a business similar to his. He gives me the finger every time he sees me. He's threatened me many times on camera. He's threatened me and come and threatened me and my wife and my kids at my store on camera. He's threatened me at the PharmaSafe. He's told me off several hundred times. He's sent me fake cease and desists. He's sent me fake. He's trying to sue me for opening a business and all this stuff, and all this harassment. And you know what the police tells me? Oh, they're forming an opinion. So what happened to forming an opinion? Like, the police tell me that's forming an opinion. So, in other words, I could do what this guy's doing to me, and it's forming an opinion. You go beside an ice cream truck, you just let him know, look, I'm forming an opinion. Maybe that's code. You got to tell him you're forming an opinion for code.
Why don't you call the cops, say this guy is really off his rocker, and think you need to do a psychological assessment on this guy. Look at what he's doing to me and me alone.
Well, he's doing it to my wife, too.
Yeah. And that's criminal harassment as far as I'm concerned. Has he put anything online against you, Mike?
I don't know. He made that the Merit Molester website.
So there's anti-doxing legislation that just came down. There's a new tort law.
Well, when I took it to the police, they said that's forming an opinion too.
If it's a form of doxing, there's a new tort law that's come down. Precedent's been set already. If you call me during the week, I can get you more information on that.
Please, yeah, give me some information. I'll send screenshots of my address being posted on YouTube, everything being posted, and it's whatever. It is what it is. It's just stupidity. If I knew I was going to go through so much trouble opening a business of a toy store, I would have just never bothered with it. I would have kind of moved on and did something else and maybe retire or something. But I'm so disappointed that the police won't do nothing about it.
Is the shop beside his for sale, perchance, or for rent?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal is. I don't follow anyone's I don't follow anyone else's business, right? I just look at what's happening to me and what, and that's it, You guys could watch more about that on the Merit Harassment series, guys, on my channel. It's called the Merit Harassment series. And there's about 32 parts with screenshots and everything. It's not just me talking. There's screenshots of everything. And the 744 prank calls I got.
You record them all, I hope?
32 of them are recorded. It's all swearing. It's just swearing.
Well, that's verbal abuse. I'm sure there's some laws we can use to deal with this guy.
When I took that to the police, they said they have real police work to do to stop going there. They actually told me they have real police work to do.
This guy's obviously a nut bar. How come you don't get protection under the law if people are mentally disturbed, which this guy obviously is?
I don't know.
Why can't you have him charged?
I don't know.
At least get a psychological assessment done on this guy. This guy's nuts.
It's been going on for 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years I've been dealing with this, like, all the time. I'm in public and he sees me, he just starts yelling and swearing. Like, we're talking like 3,000 decibels. You could hear him from like the next city over, yelling and swearing in the middle of the street at me.
More reasons for a psychological assessment, Mike. This guy's a danger to the public, not just to you. Who's next?
I guess what they'll do is they'll just wait around and see if he does something like big, and then they'll go ahead and do something and move in.
Why don't you run for mayor, Mike?
No. I ran for city councilor 4 years ago, and I dropped out 1 week after because one of the city councilors that was running came into my store, and I have it on camera, and she said if I don't drop out, she's going to tell the police that I tried groping her.
And you got that on camera?
I have it on camera.
So why don't you have her charged for extortion, Mike?
No, I'm actually going to use that in case she runs again, and then I'm going to use that for... Why do you think the mafia never gets touched by the police? Because they have so much leverage on them, they don't even want to go next to them. The mafia has leverage, not money. Well, they have money, but they have leverage on everybody working in high positions that could compromise them. I'm just going to use that going forward. Interesting.
Very interesting. Maybe that's why they want Kevin J. Johnson in jail, because he can't be bought and they've got nothing on him.
Right.
Except, I don't know if you heard, but Mohammed Faqih, you know who that is.
Who?
Mohammed Faqih, he's owner of the Paramount Fine Foods chain of restaurants.
Sure.
I believe he's Lebanese. Short history. Came here 10 years ago. Basically claims to be a self-made man. Apparently there's ties between him and ARSA, which is the Rohingya militant, something to do with military ties to Bangladesh.
Sure.
Or Myanmar.
Sure.
Anyways, that's been exposed. So he came after Kevin J. Johnson. Kevin J. Johnson tried to get an interview with him in a mall, and
yeah, I heard he got charged for harassing him because he tried to interview him, and yeah, I heard about that, and he got sued for $11 million or something.
$2.5 million judgment for defamation.
Wow, really? Well, I'll send you a link to the Merit Molester website if you want to see it.
Sure, why not? I'll put this on to Stefano, see what he can send you in the right direction.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We still have a constitution here in Canada, believe it or not, even though the federal government is ignoring it. They're just saying, constitution? Nah, we don't believe in that thing. That's just rules for other governments, not for us. You know, our Charter of Rights, they're saying, let's ignore that thing.
That only applies for certain people.
That only applies if you get caught. Like, it's only legal if you get caught, Mike.
Are you on our Discord, Eduardo?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I really hope Matthew from Australia posts those screenshots in our Discord, because I can't talk about this on the show, but it's best that you guys go to the Discord and see it, because if you see that and you're just going to take a seat wherever you are, you'll sit down and like, why? It's worse than everything we talked about tonight.
What's this got to do with?
A lot. And I just don't want to talk about it on the show tonight, because this could be a problem for me.
Well, are you selling curly whirlies, Mike?
No.
Are you buying curly whirlies, Mike?
No curly whirlies for me.
So it can't be that bad.
But it's pretty bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Guys, I'm not making this up.
It's bad for us, not for them. It's one of those.
Well, blockchain, get yourself a blockchain website, Mike, because that may be the only thing left. It bypasses the DNS keys.
Share this show on your thing, on your social media, Eduardo.
Yeah, I'll put it into my Facebook. That's all I've got.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a commentator on letting people know what the madness is that's going on in. Maybe we should change our name to one of the states of North Korea or something like that.
Oh, okay. Like I don't know the names of the states up there, but it's Pyongyang, or something like that.
I don't know. And have you seen the new emblem of the Alberta Health Services?
Tell us.
It's a Nazi sign, and then on the ends of the tips of the Nazi sign, you've got vaccine needles. That's what we're putting out there. Whether or not they've adopted it yet, well, I guess it's just a matter of time. The truth will come to the surface, right?
Yeah.
And we are under medical tyranny. And here in Toronto, Monday, I believe they voted on extending Doug Ford's, a.k.a. Doug Ford, leader of the Conservatives, which that's false advertising too, because they're tyrants. How can we call it Conservatives tyrants, or has the meaning of that word changed also? Anyways, they voted to extend the lockdown emergency
Is it the variant ball juice from Australia?
The 1st of December.
What? Whoa. Who? What?
Oh, you didn't hear about this one?
Tell me again, because my ears don't believe what you just told me.
In Ontario.
Uh-huh.
Doug Ford extended, they voted in the Ontario legislature to extend the emergency lockdown orders to the 1st of December. The Emergency Powers Act, or whatever it is, the Reopening Ontario Act, which is nothing but clamping down and destroying Ontario and shutting us down act. So it's been mislabeled again. More false advertising as far as I'm concerned. It's got nothing to do with reopening Ontario. It's got everything to do with shutting it down. And when he got elected, he said Ontario is going to be open for business. What business is that, Mike?
Well, Ontario shut down, from what I know. From what I've heard, 93,000 small businesses closed from the first and second lockdown.
Well, we've been under a stay-at-home order now for months, like January, I think it is, isn't it? I can't even remember. It's been so long. It's like a bad dream that never ends.
This is very concerning, man. I don't know.
If you live in Korea, it's fine, Mike. This is the new normal.
No, because in Korea, they give you designated specific haircuts you're allowed to get. There's only 3 haircuts for men they could choose from. There's like on a thing. And there's 4 for women or 5 for women. I'm not joking. There's like a cue card when you go to cut your hair. You got to pick up the 3 approved haircuts. I'm not making this up, Eduardo.
Mike, I know this, but now that you're bringing this onto Canadian airwaves, watch next week or the week after some disgustingly rich public servant that's making $350,000 for a $60,000 job is going to say, hey, that's a good idea. The salons want to open up, they're going to only allow 3 different haircuts. And guess what? One of them will probably be curly hair like Trudeau or Trudeau's clone. Or sorry, I mean Castro's son.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. And then maybe they'll use Doug Ford's haircut where it just stands up and you got a bit of cheesecake stuck in there.
Well, I talked to Ricky Spanish, and he's all over the place, going to bars, hanging out, walking his dog, hang gliding. I think he's going to go do some boating next week. You know, he's doing all kinds of stuff down south. There's nothing happening. He says he sent me videos of bars and people dancing and taking hooter shots. You know what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ricky Spanish.
I think when I was a lot younger, some this kind of thing used to go on, but that was a long, long time ago.
I'm just saying, like they're going down there like nobody's business, and here it's like the end of the world. And I don't know. There's going to be a divide between countries that stay open and countries that are going to be locked down, and that's it.
Well, there's a saying: people get the politics that they deserve. So a lot of people are asleep at the wheel. Enjoy it, people. You voted in this Liberal government. Not once, twice. Enjoy. You did this, Canadians. You brought this on yourselves. And why there isn't millions of people marching in the streets? Well, screw 'em. Take the jab, guys. It's good for you. If you believe it. I know it's going to be a lonely world here in Ontario in about 2 years, I figure.
No, things are going to start kicking off in about 7 weeks, from what I heard. 7 weeks from today.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be for people that are taking the second jab, but for people that take the first jab and they're waiting, yeah, maybe it'll be 7 weeks. The fact that you've got top health practitioners coming out, one of the top virologists, and he's a pathogenicist also, top-notch guy. I can't remember his name, Little or something similar to that, University of Guelph. He's come out publicly and said, we've made a big mistake.
Well, so did that Nobel Peace Prize winner guy from France. I sent you the link.
Yep.
The guy from France, a Nobel Peace Prize virologist, top of the line, 2-time world champ, came out and said, we're in a lot of trouble and we need to start getting crematoriums ready to go. He ain't kidding. And he isn't taking it back.
Thanks for the business idea, Mike. I'll have to find an empty lot right beside a hospital.
Okay, guys. He just posted it on Discord. Guys, I don't want to talk about this on the channel, but go ahead and see it. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to.
In Discord, have you opened a chat room where people can?
We have a chat room. Yeah, it's called Let's Chat Solutions. And no, that's Solutions. It's the video voice chat channel. It's called Voice Chat Channel. Let's chill live chat.
Mike, we got any questions in the chat room there?
Man, I got five things open right now, going full blast with all by design.
What's in the YouTube questions? Anything?
Nope. Matthew just said he just posted on Discord. Bars are open here. Werewolf, where are you? Where bars are open? Are you in? Where are you?
I want to fly down to Greenville, North Carolina, man. Trump was there today, and I was just thinking, I got weathered in once when I was coming in a couple years ago in January, coming in from Florida, and I got weathered in and got stuck in Greenville, North Carolina. Man, they know how to party down there. The music is fabulous.
Paris, my friend.
Nice, nice straight shooting people. Really polite. I like people in North Carolina.
It's considered the South, right? So it's still South. It's still like Georgia, North, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama. That's like the South. Like that's like I live in Florida and I love living in Florida.
Yeah, what the hell's happening here in Canada, Mike?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Ricky Spanish should start documenting where he goes and takes photos and post. Hey guys in Canada and Australia, I'm in a bar right now. Look what this guy's wearing. Oh man, look at this girl. Wow. Should we give her a 10 or a 5? You know, like we'll be like, what the hell's going on? The rest of the world is,
Well, here, if you go to a beach, say in Toronto Island, you get cops and Toronto Health Services showing up, issuing tickets, taking the PA system, taking the DJ equipment.
They stole a bunch of your crap too, right?
What's that?
They stole a bunch of your stuff.
I've gotten all my stuff back, Mike. The cops are quite nice about it. But the other DJs, they still haven't gotten their stuff back yet.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. But the tickets are piling up, and screw them. I don't care. I really don't. That's their world.
I'm very disappointed, man. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Anyways, fellow Canadians, they're going to be shutting off our power. Food prices are going through the roof. Unemployment's going to skyrocket. They're collapsing our economy. This isn't going to go on much longer.
They're going to ban. They're going to start fining people. 2023 going forward, they're looking to start to fine people for collecting solar power.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently they're taxing well water, so I haven't seen much about that. But that was going on a couple years ago. That's part of Agenda 2030.
Yeah, and the whole solar power collecting thing, they're going to make it illegal.
But after they collapse the economy and we're into full-on socialism, like in Cuba, if you're single, it'll take 10 to 20 years before you get a house, so you have to stay at home. Once you get married, it'll be 15 to 20 years before you can get a matrimonial home by the state. That's the way it's going. They're going to be sticking people into these 400 square foot condos. And that's the way the economy is going to be going. And we're going to lose, probably half our population in the next 2 years? That's coming for those that took the jab. So it's going to be a different world here in Canada. And then we can bring in all kinds of migrants from other parts of the world to make sure we never get another conservative government in again. If they're dumb enough to come here.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have multinationals that own all the resources in the country. What's left for us?
Nada.
There you go. And it was all engineered. Freedom isn't free, Mike.
I know. I'm just trying to digest because, all we do here, you got to remember, all we do here is we're just talking. We're bringing up articles. We're talking. We're just trying to connect the dots to make sense or try to talk ourselves through what's happening or what they're trying to sell us. And it's all bullshit. It's bullshit.
No, curly whirlies are a deadly weapon, Mike. There's a man that could get 5 to 10 years in jail for this if he's convicted. It's not bullshit. Same thing happens in all communist countries.
No, anyways.
Did you connect the dots yet?
Yeah. All right, Eduardo, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wrap up the show. I'm going into my third hour here. I appreciate you coming on and sharing the program and just creating discussion. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Mike. And if there's anyone out there that can find me a decent pair of work shoes, 13.5 double E, hit me up, please.
13.5 double E is getting work shoes. Okay, we'll get you somebody. Somebody will message you soon, okay?
Thanks, man.
God bless you.
Ciao.
Ciao. That is our man, Eduardo. On the ground on the East Coast. Folks, I don't know what to say anymore. Or how to say. The question is, I don't know how to say anymore. Where are we headed? Okay, so we need August Jones on the show soon. We need Mike Gearshift on the show soon. We need Werewolf on the show soon. We need, who else we need? Margie, you need to come on again. You called already, but you need to come on. It's been a while. Tig Nim, you need to come on. I know you don't want to come on. Everything and anything, come on the show. Add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. I want everybody on the show. Who else? We need D-Man on the show. We need... Chica Boom needs to come on the show. We need to... Johnny Boy Silver needs to come on the show. We need people to report from wherever they are, whenever they are, or whoever they're with, and find out what is going on and why is it going on, right? And this is concerning, and it's, so I want to thank a lot of guests that came on tonight.
You're talking about all men.
Yeah, it's pretty much been all male callers tonight, but hopefully we could get some female callers in next week.
Hello, everyone.
And then we got all this BS stuff happening with politicians getting away with murder, and
Ricky Spanish
came on the show tonight to make an appearance, and yeah. Lost together forever, saying, Mike, the world is complicated so badly. Yeah, and that's what's been happening, and that's where I don't know what to say. Like, what do we say anymore? This is what we're confronted with. This is what they're telling us. This is what we're seeing. And this is what you know what I'm saying? It's like someone that lies on their job application stating they could do all this stuff, then they go into work, none of them qualify for what they're, it's like, that's what's happening here to us. They're lying about the qualifications and the laws and whatever they're trying to do. They're making it up as they go along, but they're doing a terrible job making it up as they go along. You know what I'm saying? So, let's do one last channel plug as we wrap up tonight's show. Guys, you are watching Mike in the Night. Guys, I'm going to ask to please share this. Please, Lord Humongous, Margie, Adrian, Matthew, D-Man, Tignim, please share this transmission. I want to get the word out, at least if I'm going to go down, if they're going to come and take me down, at least I want to go down in a blaze of glory. So here it is, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Lots of Mike in the Night episodes. Someone said they couldn't find it. Go to the channel. You click on Mike in the Night or hashtag Mike in the Night. There's hundreds of shows we have. All kinds of shows. Tons of cool guests on Mike in the Night. And then don't forget to set your reminders for Wednesday's show is going to be really, really, really good. Wednesday's show is going to be really good. There's a reminder for Wednesdays. And guys, next week, Mike in the Night. They'll never, ever fight for you. Who will not fight for us? That's next week's show. Mike in the Night, set your reminders. And guys, don't forget to message me on Instagram, directly on Instagram. Get me on Instagram if you need to message me something, a link or story. Also, we're on Discord if you want to catch us on there or want to share it with the community. Also, don't forget to check out artbydano.com. Bundle packs available, Art by Dano. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. I got a bunch of it. He sent me a lot of photos of customers buying a lot of his artwork. He's doing really well. Guys, check him out. Bundle packs available. Not your typical art. Artbydano.com. You can find him at Huntington Beach Pier there. He's got a booth there. Mike in the Night, Lord Humongous Tour. Don't forget to donate a couple of bucks to Lord Humongous, who's souping up his van and getting it ready to go across America for the Amerifornia Tour 2021-2022. And our music is brought to us by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. Don't forget to check it out. Replays of Mike in the Night across New Zealand there. Oh, guys, it's that time, guys. And I'll see you guys, of course, on... I'll see you guys on Wednesday night for our show.
Woo!
Amerifornia Tour. Woo! Thank you, Margie, Scott, August, Johnny Boy Silver, Maria Gee. Guys, share this to whatever. I don't care. Share it on your MySpace. I don't care. Let's get this out there. Remember, guys, take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe.